Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful one, making it positive. Hopefully you guys had a good and relaxing weekend. I myself had one. It was very, very nice. Can't complain. It was nice to get away. Nice to get away from this purple-ass room, you know what I'm saying? And just chill, you know? But we are in the middle of Verdict Watch. I guess this is like day 2. I guess it's day 2. Some people think that the day that they did their closing arguments and letting the jury go off to deliberate kind of counts as one day, but we didn't really go through a whole day waiting for them. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. But I could be wrong. Some people are saying day 2. Some people are saying day 1. I'm just saying Verdict Watch because I'm hoping that today is the final end-all, be-all answer to everything. Okay? Happy belated Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend. I hope you guys had a wonderful one. And for those y'all, for the men and women that sacrificed their lives for our country, I have to say thank you very, very much. It was I was with some people who were veterans over the weekend. It was a very beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And it's nice to hear their stories. It's nice to talk to them about their experiences when they were in the ish, as some might call it. So yeah, it was a lovely weekend. So anyway, I see a bunch of guys starting to file in. It is Verdict Watch. We are still waiting. It is still the first day. I'm thinking that we'll have an answer by the end of day. That's my assumption, but I could be absolutely wrong. And that's fine. We're just going to go with it. You know what I mean? We're going to roll with it, y'all. Okay? Queen of Swords. Yeah, I kind of wish the verdict was done 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, check all the boxes. Y'all agree? We all agree. Okay, unanimous decision. It's for such and such. So we can go on with our lovely lives. You know what I mean? It was a long weekend. You know what I mean? So hopefully they get every juror had a little bit more time on their hands to think about these things and make a final decision on what they wanted to do, as far as their decision, so that they can come together, because they're all in the room by now. It's 9:22 over there, so hopefully I'm thinking maybe by lunchtime we'll have something. We'll see. We will see. Okay, but anyway, guys, the procedure. Please hit that like button down below. Send them past 200 likes really quick. I see a bunch of y'all starting to fill in, starting to be a part of the conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single last one of y'all. And please do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. All right, guys, let's talk. Now, I got a feed going on right now that I'm kind of keeping a close eye on, because they might have the decision sooner than sooner than you can, sooner than we can even fathom. In my mind, I'm going, oh man, this is knowing our luck, will be on jury watch or verdict watch for 5 damn days. You know what I mean? But excuse me. But you never know. The jury might come in and go, hey, we have made a decision. We had the weekend, a long weekend, to figure this thing out. So therefore, we have a final decision. We're done. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that's the case, So we'll see what happens here. But we got a couple things, like I want to go through a couple things with you guys, like over the weekend, right? Let me get this queued up, though. Un momento, por favor. Yeah. Some cool things happen, I guess, this weekend elsewhere with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was everywhere, man. And I guess he was with Jeff Beck rocking it out in London, of all places. So he, he's Johnny Depp, so he got that private jet. He can go anywhere he wants. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we got to take a look at this. I can't really play the music so much because copyright stuff, but I wanted to show it to you guys because I thought it was cool. I mean, I was away from my phone the entire weekend, basically. I got away. You see what I'm saying? I turned everything off and I got away. I needed a little bit of a break. I needed a little bit of some of personal time, and it was a fan freaking tastic time. But these are all the things that I kind of saw, over the weekend that I heard these things were going on over the weekend. And yes, Sandra R. I missed y'all too. You know what I mean? So it feels good to be back. But at the same time, it felt so good to be on a boat, chilling out, doing absolutely nothing. It was pretty amazing. It was a pretty amazing weekend. Anyway, so as we already know, Johnny Depp has already been getting the love that I think that everyone's thinking that he should be getting. I mean, he's already won the court of public opinion. The public loves him now. Everyone doesn't want anything to do with Amber Heard anymore. And I think that's all he wanted. So if he loses, he still won. You see what I'm saying? If he loses, he still won by the court of public opinion. Now he can go out and play with Jeff Beck. I mean, it's almost like he's gotten like his name has gotten a little bit of a shot of rejuvenation. Now everybody wants to talk about him. Now everybody has his name in their mouths again. Like I said, he may not be playing Captain Jack Sparrow anytime soon or ever again, which I don't think he should. But I'm sure there's going to be more opportunities for him to do more. You see what I'm saying? Make more movies. Maybe it's a lot of more independent films, but for a fact that people will go out to go see him because of what this trial did to his career or to his name. It helped rejuvenate it at the same time. It's interesting. It's very interesting. But hey, here's a little clip hanging out.
You can knock it on my dressing room door 5 years ago. And we haven't stopped laughing since. What? We kept it quiet because of obvious reasons. Here he is, my good mate. Where is he?
Crazy, right? Okay, so of course I can't play the music, but you see, this is just a little bit of a little glimpse into his life coming back. Him getting his life back. He's able to play the guitar. He's able to do his thug thizzle if he wants to, and everybody's sitting here going, "Yes, yes, Johnny, play that guitar, Johnny. Yes." That's exactly what's happening now. And you can tell he's on cloud nine. He's happy. He's happy. He's getting what he wants. He's getting what he's been wanting for the past few years. Just be out in public again. Play his guitar. Maybe sing. And do his thing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm here for it. I'm happy for him. He's getting the court of public opinion back on his side. Everyone's seen, basically everyone knows the truth. I don't know about those jurors, though, which we will talk about here in a little bit. But, excuse me, I'm still working all this mucky muck in my face, in my head, okay? So sorry, guys. But at the same time, if he loses in court, he still won. Still won. He'll still be able to do movies. People will still go and see him and stuff. He's doing just fine. I got a super chat here real quick. Mrs. and Mr. Steelers, what's up, y'all? Thank you so much for the $10. Morning. My husband and kids have COVID, so I've been playing nurse. Oh my gosh. It's also your birthday. Happy birthday, sweetheart. So I'm ready for some good vibes. Hope everyone has a great day. And we get the verdict. You know what? I hope so too. I hope so. I hope we get the verdict today. Like I've been ready. I've been ready. Excuse me, for the damn verdict. I've been ready for that crap. Like I'm ready. I don't know about y'all, but it's been a long trial. And I'm here for getting the I'm here for getting the getting these things together so we can keep it moving. You know what I mean? Just personally. There's so many other stories we got to talk about, so many other things that we need to rap about that have nothing to do with Johnny Depp or anything of that sort. I wanted to play something for you guys a little bit. Just a little bit. Get that going here in a second. But anyway, so many other conversations, so many things that are going on in the world, real talk. So I'm ready to talk about so many other things. There was also, sorry for this left turn, but there was also a story about a 10-year-old that was sending out text messages to his friends saying that he was going to do the same thing that the other gunman did in Uvalde, Texas. That kid, 10 years old, was arrested for saying those things. Just a little bit of a left turn, but still, it's just insane how things have gotten, and of course how things have gotten over the past couple of years. So that's something I've been wanting to talk to you guys about for a minute, but I digress. That's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with this subject matter. But that's something I definitely want to talk to you guys about more, because it's just insane. And I see people from India watching the show. Hello, Sunita. Let's see. We had some people who were watching from Aruba. I mean, this is insane. So I appreciate all y'all coming in, being a part of the conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to every single last one of y'all. But I wanted to play a little bit of some recap video. We can kind of watch it together and all that. Take it away as we wait for the freaking verdict, which I'm hoping, man, that'd be dope if we had it before lunch. Whoo! That'd be dope if we had it before lunch. So I'm waiting for it. But let's take a look at some things. What happened last week, right before the long holiday for us, the big weekend that we had. Let's take a little bit of a listen to all this.
Our reporters in Fairfax County, Virginia. But right now, we're also recapping everything that happened last week with the closing arguments. Before our break, we played you a little bit of Johnny Depp's closing argument, Amber Heard's closing argument. Now this is Depp's rebuttal closing argument delivered by Camille Vasquez.
Actually, I take that back.
Mr. Ronborn asked you to consider why you're here. So why are you here? You're here because of a lie. And that was a lie that Ms. Heard repeated in the op-ed. At the start of this trial, we told you that this trial is about the evidence.
I'm a little
The
ahead.
evidence overwhelming that Mr.
Go.
Depp abused Ms. Heard is simply not there.
Now, I'm just trying to show you guys some of the highlights from the closing arguments, okay? Because I think that's important. Obviously, I really want to relive Elaine's I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But I want to relive it for a second because it was like birdshot. It was like it was everywhere and it was messy and it was not a good way to close this. Well, actually, I take that back. Let me take that back. It was actually perfectly how this trial, at least as far as Team Hurt is, that's exactly how it should have come off. That's exactly how it should have ended. Birdshot all over the place, just an absolute cluster F. So we gotta relive a little bit of that, not the whole thing, just a little bit of it, okay? But I wanted you guys to hear Camille's powerful words in her closing argument the first time, not her rebuttal, but her first round up at the podium.
What we have is a mountain of unproven allegations that are wild, over the top, and implausible. And you can't pick and choose which of these wild allegations to believe and which ones to disregard. You either believe all of it or none of it. Either Mr. Depp sexually assaulted Ms. Heard with a bottle in Australia, or Ms. Heard got up on that stand in front of all of you and made up that horrific tale of abuse. Either she's a victim of truly horrific abuse, or she is a woman who is willing to say absolutely anything. It is disturbing to think that Ms. Heard would make up the horrific tales of abuse that she testified to in this courtroom. But this case doesn't come down to whether you believe Ms. Heard or you believe Mr. Depp. This case comes down to whether you believe Ms. Heard or you believe Mr. Depp, Christy Dombrowski, Sean Bett, Malcolm Connolly, Travis McGivern, Starling Jenkins, Keenan Wyatt, Dr. Kipper, nurses Debbie Lloyd and Aaron Filati, Tara Roberts, Ben King, Kate James, Kate Moss, Dr. Colber, Morgan Knight, Morgan Tremaine, Officers Melissa Sines, Officers Tyler Haddon, Officer William Gatlin, and Beverly Leonard. What Ms. Heard testified to in this courtroom is the story of far too many women. But the overwhelming evidence and weight of that evidence shows that it's not her story. It's not Ms. Heard's story. It was an act of profound cruelty, not just to Mr. Depp, but to true survivors of domestic abuse. For Ms. Heard to hold herself out as a public figure representing domestic abuse. It was false, it was defamatory, and it caused irreparable harm.
All right, so let's talk about what we just saw in those closing arguments, at least part.
Okay. And yes, we are going to talk about that because let me just say something about Camille Vasquez. You know, one, I think she did a incredible job. Yes, there were moments that she could have done more. I'll be honest. There was a couple of moments where I felt like she could have just dug into Amber a little bit more. She could have. There were moments that Amber, when they were the last time Amber was on there, and they were doing their cross, there was some moments where there were moments where Amber smelled blood. You could tell Camille. You could tell that Camille smelled blood. Like she cracked through the seal, through the mask of Amber Heard, right? And she didn't attack. She didn't go in. She just kind of said nothing further, and she just let it go. Instead of drill, and just let her just completely dismantle and lose herself on the stand. There was just a few moments like that. Other than that, excuse me, Camille did an amazing freaking job, okay? And you could tell she was very affected, very emotionally connected, emotionally invested into this trial. And yeah, it showed a lot about her. Real talk. And she did an amazing job. And I get why she's getting all this all this love online and all this attention. I mean, shoot, now I'm seeing photos and stuff of her being like, Camille Vasquez on vacation, Camille stepping out after the trial. It's like, oh my God, now she's a celebrity now too, which is fine, which is great. But at the same time, it's like, wow, who'd have thought, and I look forward to the many many high profile cases that she gets involved in. Because for a fact, this is only just the beginning, baby. It's only just the beginning. Donna Singh, thank you so much for the comment on YouTube. I don't think Johnny cares much about the verdict. He just wanted his story to be told. He was quiet for a long time, taking all that woman was doing to him. It's like he relief now and free. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like he's been released. He's finally out of jail. Almost like he's been uncanceled, right? Now he's like, okay, I'm back. I could be back to me. I could keep doing me. I could keep being the rock star that I am. I could go to places where people actually show me love rather than show me hate. And I'm with it. It's interesting. The trial has done the exact opposite. It's flipped. Everyone is now Team Johnny and everyone's anti AH. Real talk. It's crazy, but it's true. He got a chance to actually say his side of the story. Finally, also, we got to see what Amber Heard is like. You got to remember, all we see is her in the movies. All we see is her doing her Aquaman, as Johnny Depp said. Aquaman. You know what I mean? We only get to see her in the movies. Same thing with Johnny Depp. We don't get to see him outside of that, except for a few interviews where they get to be, so entertaining on the late night shows and tell us a funny little story, little story about with that time you went fishing. You know what I mean? Oh, that's hilarious. Ha ha ha. We'll be right back. That's all we get to see. We don't get to see how they are in general and regular life. So you got Johnny Depp coming up and saying his piece. And then it's kind of like, it's almost like Team Heard or Team Depp said, Johnny, because you are Johnny, we're going to have you go up there and you're going to say your piece. And you're going to be absolutely truthful, painfully truthful about everything. And then Johnny, just sit back and let Amber Heard do her thing. She's going to do 90% of the work for us. So then she goes up to the stand. She talks like she's all over the place. Her stories don't connect. They don't even connect to the audio. Even the depositions that she did years before. None of it connects. None of it. So they just sit there and they're like, hey, Johnny, just sit back. Come on, baby. She going to do half the work. She going to do 99% of the work for you, baby. So just sit back. Don't worry. Tell your truth. Tell your side of things and just sit back. So she goes up there and she destroyed it herself. She hurt herself. Wasn't the other way around. She hurt herself, which I'll get into a little bit more here in a second. But she hurt herself. And also she got to show her true colors. What everybody sees basically, I'm sure, behind closed doors. What Johnny Depp had to deal with for years, married to her and dating her beforehand, because they had a courtship for a little bit before he got on one knee and said, I want you to be my girl. We saw the truth right there. Bang. Right there on the stand. It's insane. But we're going to get into her a little bit more here in a second. I just wanted to say that really quick. So yeah, court of public opinion, we saw him up there. We saw his performance. We saw how he delivered, what he talked about, so on and so forth. He's like, hey, we get it. We've been known, though, that Johnny Depp likes to kick it. We've been known that Johnny is, likes to do pop pills and do all this types of stuff and likes to drink. We all knew that he was a wino forever. We already knew all that stuff. Only difference is that he was just acknowledging it and saying, yep, that's just me. There it is. That's who I is. But y'all already been known that. You already knew that. Let's continue on here.
Signs Officers Tyler Haddon, Officer William Gatlin, and Beverly Leonard.
Says, signed.
She talked about.
Now, I wanted to show you guys Rottenborn. I know y'all don't want to see Rottenborn and stuff, but hey, we got to see the closing arguments on both sides of the fence. So we got to look at that.
Amber Heard not standing in the place of.
And it's coming up here in a second. And I know Rottenborn, people didn't like Rottenborn, but I'll tell you this. He had a strong argument. I'm going to be honest. I know that's unpopular opinion.
The document that Mr. Depp signed, the divorce agreement, where he says, signed in agreement with his signature, neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. He said that then. He could have fought this then, but he didn't because he knew that her allegations were true. But then he continued his campaign of humiliation. He says, I want her replaced on that WB film. Ladies and gentlemen, the facts are absolutely overwhelming of abuse.
Okay. We're going to break this down a little bit, okay? But what he says here is he's got a point. Both parties have the burden of proving actual malice by clear and convincing evidence. To meet this burden, each party must prove by clear and convincing evidence that each statement was made or published. One, with knowledge that the statement was false, or so recklessly as to amount to a willful disregard of the truth, that is, with a high degree of awareness that the statement was probably false. Now, here's the thing. What he's basically saying, and he said it a second ago, Johnny Depp did have opportunities to do something else beforehand. Now, I will say this, though. We got to look at this, okay? He did try to do something. That's the only argument I have. The only argument to Rottenborn, because like I said, unpopular opinion, I know, okay, because you already know what side I'm swinging for, what team I'm swinging for, all right? I am not on Team Heard right now at all. None of the evidence, in my personal opinion, was strong enough. But I will say this. He went across the pond to Great Britain. They went into court. He lost that trial. Still, in my mind, I'm going, man, I would kill to have somebody who is a lawyer in the UK come on and explain to me, why did he lose that trial? Now, the thing is, that's one of the arguments that Rottenborn and Team Heard is still leaning on. They're leaning on that hard. They took that case, but the thing is the trial was not against Amber Heard. It was against the son for calling him a WB, a knife eater. It rhymes with knife eater. Just go with me, okay? He lost that, right? Now, he's also leaning on this other piece, which is he had other opportunities to go at her, but he didn't. You see with him in these emails and text messages, basically him saying, I want my soon-to-be ex-wife off and out of these movies. I want her out. There is proof of that. There are emails of that. But does that mean he put his hands on her? No. But that's also the thing. That's not part of the argument here. The argument is him going out there and trying to destroy her career by defaming her, by putting out words, by putting out things. The Waldman comments that were put in the Daily Mail, which they seem to just lean on so hard, that they lean on so damn hard. They basically say, oh, because of these comments where's Waldo, as I call him, said in an article, this is the reason why she's not working on Aquaman, all this stuff. So here's the thing. I see the argument. Is it a strong argument? Meh, not so much. He didn't write an op-ed. Let's just start there. He didn't write an op-ed saying I'm a survivor, and had I not had this terrible relationship with this certain someone, or shout out to Tug, the that umbrella guy, that certain Aquaman starlet. Now, he didn't do that. He didn't write an op-ed. He didn't. He sent out a couple emails. He had a few text messages because he was hurt, literally hurt, and emotionally. Let's not forget that. So he said a few things in a text message. That didn't defame her life. That didn't defame her credibility or her name. Everything started because of an op-ed. I mean, lawsuits, defamation lawsuit happened because of the origin of everything, which is this op-ed. None of this stuff. I mean, all this stuff would pretty much be, let's be real. It would be literally like, let's just say, what I'm basically trying to say here is everything started because of what that op-ed was written. All the stuff that went down, him losing his finger, all the recordings of their arguments, all that stuff. Sure, maybe it would be out there for the court of public opinion to make the decision, but it would be rumor. It would be rumor. He went to her several different times and said, hey, I don't want to do this publicly. This does not need to be a public quartering of our careers or of our characters. We could do this on the low, on the quiet, and we can part separate ways amicably without any problems. She didn't want that, apparently. Shoot, she even said during her deposition how she was leaking information to TMZ. We had Morgan Tremaine go onto the stand and say under oath that he received the slamming of the cabinets scene in the kitchen 15 minutes after it was recorded. So you're telling me she just sent it to a friend, and the friend sent it to another friend within 15 minutes, and then sent it to TMZ all within 15 minutes? I'm just saying, if she really didn't do this stuff, then I don't know who, man. Somebody out here is incredible. Excuse me. And has incredible amounts of skills. Some technology skills, and just knew at that particular time that she was going to be pulling out her phone and recording at that time, and then be able to hack through her phone within 15 minutes, get it, edit it out, so all the parts that would make her look bad, the beginning and end, and then send it to TMZ. I mean, y'all got me twisted if you really think if you really think that somebody went in there, hacked her phone, got the stuff, and then put it on blast, edited it, and then put it on blast, sent it to TMZ, where they get the rights to it. Like, that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Real talk. But like I said, they sat back and they let her stay up on the stand. And she has to go up there. I get that piece. She has to talk. I'm sure that's something that they didn't want her to do. Let's be real. But they had to. That's their own bad. Actually, that's her own fault. Real talk. It's really sad, but let's take a look at some more of this stuff. And, the verdict hasn't come out yet. We're still waiting. People are still talking. So we'll see when we get the verdict in.
Repeated in the op-ed. At the start of this trial, we told you that this trial is about the evidence. The evidence overwhelmingly shows that Ms. Heard is an abuser and that she is a liar. She lied about Mr. Depp and took on the role of a lifetime as a public figure representing domestic abuse. What is her best evidence of that abuse? A video of Mr. Depp banging cabinets around, and text messages of Mr. Depp using bad words and dark, ugly humor, but never once admitting to abuse. Pictures of Mr. Depp sleeping. That's her best evidence. Ms. Heard herself, Ms. Heard held herself out to the world as a representative of abuse survivors everywhere, the face of the Me Too movement. This is not a Me Too situation. There are no Me Toos, just not me's. Ms. Heard does not deserve to be known as a representative of survivors of abuse, and Mr. Depp does not deserve to be known as a representative of perpetrators of abuse. That is what this case is about. It's not about money. It's about giving Mr. Depp his life back 6 years ago when she took it away. While you deliberate, ask yourselves why Mr. Depp would put himself through this. Expose every embarrassing detail of his life on national television. If he was guilty of anything that Ms. Heard accuses him of. We ask you, we implore you to render a verdict for Mr. Depp. We ask you to set the record straight, that he is not the abuser she described, and that she is not the heroic survivor she portrayed. And we ask you to tell Ms. Heard that what she did was wrong. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Now, absolutely. 110%. Let's please, hopefully the jury's doing exactly that. They are sitting there, they're thinking about this thing. They're going through all this stuff. But for me, I feel like it's an open and shut situation. I do feel that. In my heart of hearts, if I was a juror sitting there watching this whole trial unfold, one, I'd be tired as hell. I'd be like, yo, I don't want to come back here. All I want to do is just check these things because my mind would have already been made up. My mind would already have been made up. Now, I know that allegedly these jurors aren't looking at any other social media. They're not watching YouTube channels or anything like that as well. But I know that some of them have at least gone and just checked a few things out, maybe listened to some audio tapes, so on and so forth, just to listen to them again. And you could hear it plain as day. You can hear it plain as day. You hear the truth. Then you see the performances of the two. Then you also see the performance of both teams, who they bring onto the stand. How many were, in your opinion, how many were credible? How many in your thoughts would be, yes, absolutely, Dr. Kipper, I like him, or that officer, yes. Dr. Curry, or Dr. Hughes, if you believed her, right? You go through all those things and you go, okay, what is true and what is not? Who is credible and who is not credible? And I get a lot of people, not all of them, but some of the expert witnesses are paid to go up there and do their job. And I get that there might be some bias, a little bit of bias sprinkled in there into that check, in that check that they made to pay for that person to show up and do their job, doing their research. Yes, there's a little bias to it. So you got to cut through all the BS. Take their word and then listen to all the character witnesses that they have. Right? And then you come up with your own decision. But her performance alone says everything. Her performance alone says bloody everything. I'm going to show Rottenborn's rebuttal here too, as well.
Attorneys address none of Ms. Heard's witnesses. None of Ms. Heard's witnesses. They listed their own, who didn't see, who are on his payroll, weren't there behind closed doors with him, but they didn't address any of the witnesses. For example, Josh Drew, Rocky Pennington, Liz Mars, who were all there on May 21st, Melanie Iglesias, who covered Ms. Heard's bruises. They say that no one showed up for her. No one showed up for her, but then they say that these people aren't friends anymore. If they're not friends anymore, then why would they be doing what they would suggest are lying for her? Why would they be corroborating everything that she says? It's this simple. If you believe that Depp was abusive to Amber one time ever in any of the various forms of abuse, not only physical, verbal, emotional, psychological, sexual, any of the ways of abuse, then your job is very easy. And you can not only deny Mr. Depp's claim, but you can fine for Amber on her counterclaim. And it's interesting that Ms. Vasquez just changed their theory after 6 weeks. She said, oh, well, domestic abuse just means physical abuse. It's not what Mr. Depp said. It's not what Dr. Curry said. It's not what Dr. Hughes said. It's not what you know to be true. You know that the evidence that you've seen constitutes all sorts of abuse. And there's a reason that they're running as fast as they can from those sorts of abuse, because they know that he did it. Now, the suggestion that Amber's abuse allegations are a hoax is vicious and vile. Mr. Depp can say whatever he wants now, but he can't change the evidence that you've seen at the trial. The evidence shows that Ms. Heard did not commit abuse hoaxes, not about sexual violence, not about May 21st, 2016, and certainly not about Mr. Depp or Mr. Waldman's catch-all, all-purpose statement that Ms. Heard's abuse hoax, which suggests that every one of her allegations are false, that that's coming to an end. The evidence shows she did not commit any of those hoaxes. The evidence shows that she was abused exactly how not only she, but her witnesses supporting her claims say that she was. Joe, let's talk about that counterclaim. The counterclaim that is asserted against Johnny Depp, that it was through his attorney, Adam Waldman. There was a series of statements.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about the Adam Waldman situation as well. And the thing is here, y'all, I think it's absolute trash that they're leaning on that. It was after. It was the end. It was at the end of all this. All right? It was at the end of all that. Just because they put out a comment or a lawyer puts a comment out on Daily Mail or anything like that does not mean that her career was absolutely destroyed after a comment in an article. You wrote an op-ed, for crying out loud, man. Heard wrote an op-ed. Period. It's not like it was like, oh yeah, you know, here's this op-ed. No big deal. It's not about Johnny Depp at all. She had plenty of opportunities to say something about that. She had plenty of opportunities to walk in and say, hey, or walk out there or send out another article or do an interview or put a tweet out or put it on social media of any sort and say, this has nothing to do with Johnny Depp. Plenty of opportunities. But that never happened. So it doesn't make any sense for them to lean on Waldman, who is a, colleague, and is Johnny Depp's lawyer. He put out some words. So what? That doesn't mean a dang thing. It really doesn't. So for me, it's like, you can't lean on the Waldman comments. You really can't. Lean on the Waldman comments, to me, is weak. Now, he has a good point there where he's talking about, hey, here it is. Abuse is more than just physical. I can see his argument there. He goes, hey, if you guys think that there was any abuse that's physical, emotional, verbal, whatever, all right, then you have to vote against Johnny Depp. If you think Johnny Depp was ever physically, emotionally, verbally, anything in the realm of abuse, then you have to reconsider your verdict if you're leaning towards Johnny Depp. I see that argument. I see it. But will that still change or sway any juror that's sitting there listening to Rottenborn? I doubt it. I really, really doubt it. I think a lot of those jurors already have made their minds up. Now I think it's just a split decision. And I think that's why it's taking a little bit, right? They're going to take this morning, they're going to talk this over, and they're going to make their decision. I would hope by the end of workday. That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll definitely see what happens here. Megan, Mega Million, how you doing? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Excuse my ignorance, but will there be a verdict today? Honestly, I do not know. I'm hoping today, yes. I'm hoping by the end of workday, we will have an answer for sure. That's what I'm hoping for personally, just to be completely real. But yeah, I don't know. Lisa, thank you so much for the $4 or $5. I do appreciate that. Thank you so very, very, very much. Okay. But like I said, I think that there's a lot that's going on here that leans more towards Johnny Depp and not the other way around. And it's because of the performances, not only just from Amber Heard, but from her entire laundry list of witnesses that came in. The only person that came in for her on her behalf that wasn't paid for, and that's real, that came in live, physically in the flesh, was her sister. And I just think her sister's in cahoots with her. Just like I think Rocky or Raquel and Josh Drew, both of them were, at least they were in cahoots with her. And then suddenly they weren't friends with her anymore. Real talk. Those are all old depositions that happened years ago. They ain't rocking with each other. Shoot, Josh Drew and Raquel, or AKA Rocky, were married at some point. They're not even married anymore. Makes you wonder why. Makes you wonder what split them up. Because of what they were transpiring, the what they were plotting. These let's bamboozle, let's screw over Johnny Depp type thing. I mean, come on, it's insane. Now, Bad Girl said, check out her last post. I don't know what it is, and it's probably buried in here somewhere, Bad Girl. So you might have to just copy and paste it again or something, because it is probably knee deep in here. Okay? So, yeah, Bad Girl, just copy and paste it, and I will try to keep my eye out for it, because the comments are coming in. And I appreciate all y'all for coming in and being a part of the conversation. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below. Send it past the 1K for me really quick. I see over 1,400 people watching on all platforms right now. And if you're watching on Facebook, please do me a favor, hit that follow button on my Facebook page, okay? It's The Pascal Show. Welcome to all you guys who are watching over there. I really do appreciate it, okay? But let's continue on here. Now, there is something I did want to check out, which is not here. Let me fix that right quick. Now, we still are going to be watching, waiting for the verdict, and if it goes live, we will watch it together as a family. I promise you that. But there is, I wanted to look over the moments, a few moments that happened between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, because it is just pretty damn amazing. Or not between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, between Amber Heard and Camille Vasquez, because there's some things that happened in her cross that were just bad, just really, really bad. So I wanted to show that to you guys real quick. I really don't think Amber Heard handled herself very well. Personally, it was pretty bad. Hold on. Trying to find it real quick, guys. Okay, we got it here.
Currying favor with powerful men.
Currying
and I know
favor
that
and
firsthand. I've
risking
lived
jail
it.
time for committing perjury.
Excuse me? I didn't.
Reflected about May 21, 2015.
Just kind of want to relive this moment here.
You said 4585. I'm on 4485. Sorry. You said 4585.
4585.
Pardon.
Line 16.
Roll that back a little bit, guys. Sorry. This whole thing was a cluster F. I will say that.
Effectively what happened, yeah.
You testify that he actually grabbed that woman's wrist and twisted it, right?
And told her that he could effectively break her wrist by saying he knew how many pounds of pressure, or asking her how many pounds of pressure it took to break a human wrist.
But your own witness, your former best friend, Rocky Pennington, she didn't corroborate that, did she?
I'm not quite sure what part of that night she saw. There were a lot of people there.
She didn't testify that Mr. Depp grabbed anyone's wrist in Hicksville.
Again, I don't know what Rocky saw. There were a lot of people there that night.
Real quick, yes, this is the part, the situation that happened at Hicksville. Okay, over at Hicksville, the trailer palace, as Morgan Knights eloquently put. He came in, said a completely different story, said something completely different. But now Amber Heard's back on, and of course Camille's going to ride her. But this is very interesting. I wanted to show you guys this because this is just crazy. To me, this is crazy. Okay. So we're going to get into that really quick. But bad girl, why hasn't the court charged her with perjury? Not yet. Give it time, baby. Give it time. It's coming. I'm sure they're sitting there going, hey, we need to figure out what's going on here first. Let's get this verdict. And then, of course, maybe they do charge her with perjury. I do not know. I'm still wondering why it hasn't happened as quickly as I thought it would. You know what I mean? I was expecting it to kind of be, I would expect them to go, okay, we're seeing that she's not telling the truth, but maybe, I don't know, maybe there's some weird loophole, or I don't know. Something about it isn't right, but I keep thinking like it's coming. It's coming. All right. The charge for perjury is coming, and it may come after the verdict. It may come on after the verdict. We don't know. And it also depends. I think it's also Team Depp has to charge her for that as well. But she's been lying left and right. We all know she's been lying left and right, y'all. That's why I'm saying the jury would have to be absolutely idiotic for them not to see that she is lying through her teeth. But let's look at this moment here. This is crazy.
You testified that once you brought Mr. Depp back to your trailer, he trashed it, correct?
That is correct.
And the manager of the Hicksville trailer park was furious that Johnny had wrecked the whole thing. Do you remember that testimony?
That's correct.
Well, we heard from that manager of the Hicksville trailer park, Morgan Knight, on Monday, didn't we?
I'm not quite sure who that guy was or if he had any involvement in this. I know a lot of people have come out of the woodwork to be involved.
So she's claiming that she don't even know who the hell that man is. Yet she clearly met him. She's sitting here on the stand saying, I don't know who this man is. But, Johnny likes to bring in all these random people out the woodwork. Okay. Dr. Hughes. Sorry. Dr. Spiegel. I'm sorry. Sorry. Just going through some things in my lungs.
So you're accusing Mr. Knight of testifying and committing perjury?
I'm not accusing anyone. I just don't recognize that man.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that it was actually you who was upset with Mr. Depp spending time away from him. Isn't that correct?
How would he know? He wasn't there.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that it was actually you who was yelling at Mr. Depp.
Again, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things to be involved in the Johnny Depp show, but he wasn't there. He doesn't know. And he certainly doesn't know what happened behind closed doors, like most people.
So you're calling Mr. Knight a liar?
I am saying he wasn't there, and what he testified to doesn't match what I know happened. But I don't fault him. He wasn't there, so how would he know?
He testified he was there, Ms. Heard. Did you hear that?
That's his testimony,
Right.
yes.
So you're calling him a liar.
I'm just saying he wasn't there.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that the trailer wasn't trashed, and that's why you're calling him a liar.
Uh-huh.
He testified that a light fixture was broken, similar to the way that
Yes,
Johnny's
other than a light
employees
fixture, that was
testified
the
to
only
my
thing that was
closet being
broken, right? Ms.
rearranged
Heard?
and things
Ms.
like
Heard?
that.
The only thing that was broken in the trailer, according to Mr. Knight, was a light fixture. Yes or no?
I realized that he summed it up by saying a light fixture was broken, just the way his security guard summed up him trashing my closet as being rearranged.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to strike everything after he summed it up.
Now, shout out to Camille because she doing her thing. She's still got to be a lawyer, right? She still has to be diplomatic to a certain extent. She can't badger the witness. She can't do anything like that. So, okay. So she's doing her job. You know what I mean? She's doing the damn thing. But still, very, very crazy that this woman is saying that a person who actually owns that mug shows up and says, we had to pay, or they had to pay for damage to a light fixture. There was a matching pair, so we had to get rid of the other one. They didn't, the whatever the light fixture was, there was only, it was hard to find a replacement of that exact one. So we had to pay for it. We had to go and buy two different ones so that it's a matching set, period. He had to pay $64 or something crazy like that. That is the damage that he had to pay for in the space that she says that Johnny Depp thrashed, viciously destroyed this area. And yet the owner, Morgan Knight, shows up. He says, hey, I got better things to do than be here, but I'm here to tell the truth. He goes up there, says his thing. Somebody said it was like, oh, this is an opportunity to promote your place, Hicksville, US, Hicksville and all that stuff. He's like, nah. True. Yeah, I can see somebody going, ooh, let me go check this place out. I never heard of this kind of place before. Sure, but at the same time, this man did not need to stop what he was doing to go all the way out to Fairfax, Virginia, to tell his side of the story, to tell what he saw. So she's straight up saying that this man is straight up lying, that he went up there and committed perjury. That's what she's saying. But of course, she's playing with the semantics, y'all. She's playing with words. Remember, pledge, donate. She's playing with semantics, y'all. Mario, thank you so much for the $2 Canadian. Amber Heard's career is over regardless of outcome. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. If she walks away with $100 million, then she better live a frugal life. She better hold on to that money and not blow all that cash. Let me just be real. But other than that, because she will not work again. She will never work, as they say in the movies, in the movies, baby. You're never going to work in this town again. She ain't going to work in this town again unless she's doing it for P-Hub or she on that OF doing photos of her feet, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Linda, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Everyone's a liar but her. She's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. This is the other part. Real quick before we continue. This is my other gripe. This is my other issue with this whole situation. She does not take any accountability for anything. Johnny Depp takes accountability for the moments that he was bad at, where he was a bad boy, where he did bad things. He says, hey, yes, I did write that. You read that perfectly. What was it? Something like, is that whatever that I donated my seed to going to be there? Yeah, sure. The flappy fish market comments, all those things. Come on down to Amber's flappy fish market, Yeah, he admits to saying those things. But that is a man who is very upset. That's a torn human being. That's a man that is torn, upset. He wrote words, but did he put his hands on her? Did he really do what she says she did? That she says he did? Did he really take a bottle, a Maker's Mark bottle, and do something so unthinkable? Did he really do that? And if he really did, where's the documents? Where are the photos? Where's the doctor forms? Where's the visit to the hospital? How are you even able to have, well, she didn't have her child, but you see what I'm saying? How would you be even able to walk, let alone conduct a good conversation on a late night talk show after being violated so viciously with a Maker's Mark bottle? Just saying, please somebody make that make sense for me, because that doesn't work for me at all. But let's continue here. She's literally, back to this, she's literally trying to make it seem like Morgan Knight is a full-on liar, just a bold-faced liar. Let's continue.
That it was a light fixture as non-responsive.
She answered the question, Your Honor.
Overruled.
In the security guard testimony, Your Honor?
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Mr. Knight also testified that he charged Mr. Depp only $62 for the damaged light fixture. You heard that, correct?
I did.
In Hicksville, you were the only one that was jealous that Mr. Depp was spending time from other people. Isn't that correct, Ms. Heard?
That is incorrect.
In Hicksville, you were the one who was upset that Mr. Depp wasn't giving you enough attention.
Incorrect again.
Ms. Heard, you told this jury that you had no idea the press was going to be at the courthouse when you got your TRO on May 27th, 2016. Do you remember that?
Nope. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. They'd like to
That
slip those
testimony?
things in there.
I said I did not have anything to do with it. Yes.
No. My question again. You told this jury that you had no idea that the press was going to be outside after you got the ex-party TRO on May 27th, 2016. Do you remember that testimony?
I apologize. I must have misunderstood Ms. Vasquez. I actually had no idea whether they were going to be there or not. When I walked into the courtroom that day, it was completely quiet, still, empty. Even though I had given Johnny's team notice that I was filing the
Objection,
TRO,
Your Honor, this is not
we had
responsive.
no reason to
Move to
believe that the
strike.
press knew.
And Your Honor, I would also ask that you instruct the witness to please stop talking once I lodge an objection.
Facts. I mean, she wants to talk over because she's a professional liar. She's a professional that is used to doing this, manipulating, saying things, using words, laying and resting, leaning on semantics. And of course, she's sitting there going, F it, I'm going to try to get my point across, so on and so forth. I mean, we're going to continue with this because we need to relive this. There is a moment I will show you guys very shortly where I was like, damn, she shouldn't have sat on that. Like, Camille shouldn't have just let that sit. She should have kept pushing. She should have kept going. Because now Amber is starting to get a little agitated. And it starts to go off the rails here in a little bit. Camille is doing a great job. But there's one moment where I was like, oh, you could have gone even further, man. You could have pushed this to the limit. But hold on. I got a couple of comments, especially one on Facebook. Ashley Wilkerson, thank you so much for your comment on Facebook, by the way. And welcome everybody on Facebook. Welcome, Facebook fam. Hit that follow button, okay? And of course, hit that like button or reaction button underneath the feed. That would really, really mean a lot. She's been documenting anything she could from the very beginning. If some man shoved something sharp up you, you would absolutely feel it, and she would have absolutely needed medical attention. She 100% would have had taken a picture, not a doubt. Absolutely. Even doesn't matter how disgusting or graphic that photo may be. Why wasn't there documentation of that? Why wasn't there documentation of anything that happened to her with that bottle and her body? Remember, she was dragged. She was butt naked, fully naked, because he ripped off her nightgown, apparently. He ripped off her clothes and dragged her through broken glass. She was also barefoot, walking and fighting and scrapping with her then husband on broken glass. But then we see photos of her the very next day, just fine. Having combos, chopping it up, being witty, being charming, promoting the her movie that she was in. You see what I'm saying? Other than that, she looked fine. She looked fine. Mario, thank you so much for the $5 Canadian. Thank you for doing what you do. Amber Heard just ended feminism and the Me Too movement through this trial. Marilyn Manson is next. What do you think? Woo! Okay, I am going to be looking into the Marilyn Manson case like a mug because I know that's coming up. And Evan Rachel Wood, obviously, there's a big trial going on between them because of what she's been putting out. There's a whole documentary about on HBO Max right now as we speak. I literally just started it, so I don't know much yet, but I wanted to see this for myself. The whole Marilyn Manson situation is a little creepy, and I don't mean it because of his music or his persona or whatever. I am a little concerned, and I have questions. There are other women, excuse me, there are other women that have stepped out. Excuse me. There are other women that have stepped out and have spoken against Marilyn Manson. Now, let's look at Johnny Depp. Let's go back here. Johnny Depp. No women have come out and said anything. They're speaking on behalf of him. Kate Moss came through and not annihilated this ish. Basically saying, hey, Amber is leaning on rumors. She is spreading these rumors even more by bringing these things up. That's also one of the reasons why she's in this trial, don't you think? Defamation, putting out these lies. Amber Heard, Kate Moss went out of her way. She's in London, went on live and said what she is saying is not true. None of this happened. But with Marilyn Manson, that's another conversation in itself. That one is going to be a tough one. And I need to do more research, but I am going to be going into that one when this trial is over, when that whole situation starts popping off, we will be talking about that, And the other question I just want to throw on this real quick before we go back to here is this is when persona, brand starts to backfire because you never know. This man, Marilyn Manson, could be innocent or he could be an absolute monster. But what happened here? He has a brand. He has a persona that he's created. So that could be detrimental to his argument. But that's something we got to talk about another day. Ellie, how you doing? McGowan, hello. Thank you so much for the €5. I really do appreciate it. In my honest opinion, since feminism means equality for the sexes, if Johnny wins, then that would be a win for feminism. Actually, if you really think about it in a weird Matrix kind of way, it'd be, in a way, yes. In a way, yes. It's what's sad about that whole situation is that I do agree that she is exploiting the Me Too movement for her own financial gain. But this also goes to show to you that we need to be extremely, extremely diligent in our decisions on what side we want to go to when, say, somebody cries wolf, which is exactly what this woman did. And what sucks is that when somebody comes out and does actually say there's a wolf and there really is a wolf out there, now there's going to be less and less people believing the person who's crying wolf. Because now they're going to say, I want proof. I want to see the proof. She messed that up. She mucked that up. And I think that's also important, though, too. You need to see what's going on both sides of the fence. You need to see the evidence. You need proof. And unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles now. Because anybody can do what Amber did. Anyone. And that's what's terrifying. Anyone can go up and say, I was such and such by this particular person. And then next thing you know, that person's life is destroyed. Just by them putting #MeToo and then saying their name in a tweet. Still to this day, a guy, I'm not using Marilyn Manson, but a guy, any person, could be freaking Mr. Rogers up in this biznai. Next thing you know, somebody's going to slap hashtag Me Too on that, and suddenly the guy his life is destroyed. Without anybody doing any research, we are quick to believe, understandably, because that's who we are, as that's what we have innately in us. We want to be fighters for justice, fighters for the good side. It just sucks that some people can use it to try to take advantage of it for their own financial gain, like this woman did, clearly. But let's continue here. Please, by the way, if you haven't done it yet, guys, please, I hate to say this. I know we're flowing, we're doing our thing, but please hit that like button down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, okay? Send it past 1K. I don't know where we're at right now, but we're only halfway there. But hey, hit that like button down below. That would really, really, really mean a lot. And also, please hit that subscribe button, okay? Crush it. Hit that subscribe button, all right? And for those of y'all who are asking where the verdict is, we are still waiting on the verdict. Okay, Mukbang Eats. We're still waiting on the verdict. We still have not heard anything as of yet. So when we do know something, we will hear it right here live if it happens within the next few hours. Okay, but let's continue on here, because like I said, it goes off the rails here. And I'm going to tell you where I think Camille missed a really good opportunity to just make her go crazy. Let's go.
Your Honor, she's trying to answer the question as best she can, and Ms. Vasquez is misrepresenting to her what she testified to.
Well, I'll strike the last part as non-responsive. Just if you could just answer the questions asked. Okay, thank you, Ms. Heard.
In fact, you testified that you were, quote, shocked when you saw press when you were leaving the courthouse. Yes?
Yes.
You weren't shocked at all, though, were you?
Incorrect. It was.
You knew the press
horrifying.
would be at the courthouse, right, Ms. Heard?
No.
Well, you did bring your publicist to the courthouse with you on May 27th, 2016, didn't you?
I sure did. I'm a public figure. I brought my publicist in case it blew up. In case.
You actually had alerted TMZ that you would be filing a TRO against Mr. Depp that very day, didn't you?
No, I did not.
The one day you didn't bother to wear makeup to cover up the mark on your face.
I did not call TMZ or any other news source or paparazzi source. No one.
Well,
I never did that.
Testimony from former TMZ employee Morgan Tremaine yesterday, correct?
Did I hear his testimony?
Yes.
Yes, I was here.
Yes. And you heard Mr. Tremaine's testimony that he knew to dispatch the paparazzi to the courthouse on May 27th, right?
I heard him say that he knew that, yes.
Yeah, and that he dispatched paparazzi to the courthouse to capture a picture of an alleged bruise on the right side of your face. Do you remember him saying that?
I remember him saying that.
That information must have come from your team, right, Ms. Heard?
Absolutely not. Why would I want that? What actual survivor of domestic violence wants that?
Now, the video of Mr. Depp beating up some kitchen cabinets, you admit that you took that video, correct?
Yes, I did.
Right. And you acknowledge that the video was released online the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp in August of 2016, right?
I believe it was, yes.
But you testified that you had absolutely nothing to do with the video's release, right?
Absolutely not.
And you testified that you learned about it when you landed after flying into LA. Do you remember that testimony?
Upon touchdown is when I was alerted to the video's existence.
You heard Mr.
online.
Tremaine testify about this video as well yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ received the cabinet video the same day you landed at LAX. Yes?
I don't know if that's what his testimony was. I'm sorry.
You heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the cabinet video was posted 15 minutes after TMZ received it. Yes?
That's what I heard him say.
And that this could only have been possible if the video was received directly from the source. Yes?
I heard him say that. I don't know if that's true or if that's possible because it didn't come from me. I was flying.
Tremaine
So I know that's incorrect is what I mean to say.
Another liar on the stand.
Yeah. How many people are going to be liars? How many? That's what I'd like to know. Because clearly, every single person that Johnny Depp has brought onto the stand that were somewhat, let's say, somewhat to incredibly credible witnesses, she says every single last one is a liar. Every single last one is full of ish. Are you kidding me?
I just know that that's incorrect.
Right.
Okay, really quick. I'm sorry. Morgan Tremaine came onto the stand and said, hey, I know when I get it. I get a heads up on where I need to get some photographers over to be a part of this specific spot. Right now, what's interesting? Okay, they somehow knew to show up to the courthouse where she was filing for her DV TRO, her temporary or her RO, her restraining order. Okay, so she goes there. She has so perfectly placed a bruise on her right cheek. They know to shoot the right side of her face to show where this bruise is. Whether it was a real bruise or not, we don't know if it was something from Johnny Depp. Could have been makeup, could have been a full-on, just a played out thing. Now, she clearly was ready for paparazzi to show up and start taking photos of her right side. It's funny because you even notice her hair is down on one side. The other one, her hair's moved to the back behind her ear, exposing the right side of her face, the bruise. Everyone, man, you can see that bruise from space, for crying out loud. She made it extremely visible for everyone to see. It wasn't something that she was like, I'm ashamed. I'm going to cover my face. I'm going to wear a baseball cap. I'm wearing a hoodie. I don't want anybody to know it's me going in to file for this RO, for this restraining order. No, she's in black, looking like a damsel in distress, all this stuff. And you're telling me, and then they show up and shooting the right side of her face specifically. It's not like she was putting her hands in front of the camera and saying, don't take photos, no photos, please, or anything like that. She was extremely ready for it. So who tipped him off? It's not like they just knew out of the clear blue sky. Let's just go down to the courthouse today. Maybe Amber Heard's filing for a restraining order over Johnny Depp, and maybe the right side of her face has a bruise on it. Clearly, this was solely and fully fabricated. Same thing with the video. Oh, I had no knowledge about this video being out there until I touched down in LA. Until I got back into LA. That's when I realized that somebody somehow hacked my phone, knew that day of all days to hack my phone, find that video, edit out the ends of the video, and send it to TMZ. Math ain't mathin', y'all. Math ain't mathin'.
And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ owns the copyright to the cabinet video, right?
That's news to me.
The cabinet video you filmed of your then husband, yes?
The copyright ownership of that is news to me. I learned that yesterday.
So, okay, let's talk about copyright ownership. So you're telling me that somebody else owns the rights to your video that you shot of your husband or of your then husband slamming cabinet doors? Like I said, somebody make this make sense. You have to sign that away. You have to give that away to TMZ. So if they stole that and they ain't playing that, or and they're saying that they own the ownership, the copyright ownerships of that actual video, then why didn't you sue them? Why isn't there a lawsuit from them saying you hacked into my phone, you took my stuff, so on and so forth? This makes no sense.
It's the cabinet video that you captured of your then husband, yes?
That is correct. I did capture that video, and yes, that was my husband.
The same cabinet video that was released the night before you were deposed in your divorce, yes?
That's correct.
Okay. You must have also heard Mr. Tremaine testify that the version of the cabinet video that TMZ received was incomplete compared to the video the jury saw in this trial. Did you hear that?
The video that that you have seen is complete.
Right. But the one TMZ got the day before your deposition in the divorce was incomplete.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
He testified that at the beginning portion of the video where you set up the camera, that wasn't included in the video that TMZ received.
I don't know what video TMZ
I'm talking
received.
about Mr. Tremaine's testimony, Ms. Heard. Let's just
So you're
focus on
asking me to
Mr.
repeat
Toomey.
his testimony?
No, I'm asking you if you recall hearing him say those words to this jury.
Yes,
Under oath.
I heard his testimony. We all did.
And he testified at the end of the video where you can be seen smirking. I know you testified earlier that you haven't been smirking in this trial, but you sure were caught on camera smirking in that video.
I disagree with that.
Was also not included in the TMZ video.
Everyone can watch that video and you can determine whether you think it's funny to me or not.
That's because the video came from you, right, Ms. Heard?
No, it did not.
You
That
edited
video
out
did
the
not
portions.
come to me. I
Ms.
mean, come
Heard,
from me.
Ms. Heard, you edited out the portions that made you look bad before sending it to TMZ.
You're very wrong about that.
So that
If I
only
wanted to
Mr.
leak
Depp
information, I
looked
could have
bad.
done it in a more effective way, a lot sooner and a lot more.
Because you
I
knew
was
exactly
living
how to
with
do
a
that,
mountain
right?
of this evidence. If I wanted to leak it, I could have done a lot more with it.
I thought you testified earlier in this trial that you didn't know how to leak
Remember, she says she doesn't know how to do any of that kind of crap, but now she's saying that she can do a lot more with it if she had the opportunity. Okay.
things.
I don't.
Right. You edited that video before.
Hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry for the change of pace, but real quick, I need to check something.
Now, Dr. Pearson, these officers were criticized for not taking notes.
Okay, nope. I thought that maybe the verdict was coming in. I got a little excited there. I was wrong. My bad. I got a little excited. Sorry about that, guys.
You gave it to TMZ so that only Mr. Depp would look bad. Yes?
That's absurd.
Right in the middle of your divorce proceedings.
Again, you're very wrong.
I'd like to show you a picture from that's already admitted into evidence. It's Defendant's Exhibit 799. This is you at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, when you got your domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
It is.
And next to you is a woman named Jody Gottlieb, right?
Yes, yes.
Jody Gottlieb is your publicist.
And dear friend.
Now I'd like to show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1316.
Now, can I say something? Why would she sit there and do all this? Right? Why would she sit there and do all this? Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading some comments about verdicts and all that stuff. But why isn't she turning to that photographer, whoever that photographer is? I'm assuming it's TMZ. But why wouldn't she have gone to them and say, leave us alone, get out of here. We don't want any photos. I need to do this on solo dolo. I need to do this on my own time, kind of thing. This is a private matter. You guys need to go. No, she let them stay.
This is a picture of you and your friend Rocky Pennington, right?
That is correct.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to admit this photograph.
Any objection to 1316?
Hold on one second, guys.
No, Your Honor.
All right, 1316 in evidence. You can publish to the jury.
This is a picture of you on May 28th, 2016, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this was taken.
This is the day after you obtained the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
I have no idea when this image was taken. I did not take it.
Okay. Let me say this really quick. This is the very next day. Very next day. Okay. Hold on. Mario, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. Is the jury sequestered? How do they ensure they are not exposed to sensitive info? What happens if many of them are exposed? Well, then that's when they would bring in the alternates, because they do have some alternates that were sitting there during the trial. So if any of them were compromised in some sort of way, or they found out that they were doing outside research or anything of that sort, then they would bring in the alternates, and those alternates would just take over those spots. But at this point, I mean, I feel like it's almost impossible to try to avoid anything like that, or to try to find out. Like, everyone knows all this stuff. People who have been watching this trial or have heard about the defamation or any of these things know a good portion of these things. But they're also trusting that the jury is going home and they're doing their own thing, not looking through their phone, not looking to see what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Rena, thank you so much for the 5. I think it's interesting she went to TMZ and not some more mainstream news interview like 2020 or Oprah to talk about the quote unquote abuse. Absolutely. She could have done those things because then that would have been more credible. But I think she was probably scared of doing something like that. Imagine her doing something like that with Oprah. Oprah would be doing her deep dive like crazy. They'd be doing their deep dive like crazy, y'all. No doubt. To make sure what she's saying is credible. She'd crack under Oprah. And I think she'd crack under 2020. Maybe. I don't know. Jussie Smollett did some crazy stuff too. And he gave 0 damns. You know what I'm saying? Straight up lied on camera in front of millions of people. So you never know. But what I'm trying to say here is look at her face. That is a fresh face. That's all I'm going to say. This is the day after. So you're telling me a bruise that you had on your cheek is now gone. And she is happy as hell. Just chilling. But let's take, this is insane. This part is insane to me. What comes out of her mouth.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture, is there?
Wait for it.
Again, I don't know when this was taken. And also I'm outside. I was obviously wearing makeup. I have no idea when this was taken. So I have no idea if I can speak to
refresh your
what
recollection.
bruise.
Hold up. So this is what you look like on a day when you got war paint on? I'm sorry. So you're telling me this is your face beat to the gods? You're telling me that is makeup? That is makeup? Okay. That's makeup, y'all. I'm sorry. Pledge. Donate. That is makeup now. Oh my God. She would never, oh God. If that's makeup, whoever did her makeup or whatever makeup she is using to put onto her face, she should never wear that makeup again. Nor should she ever hire a makeup artist that did this to her face, if this is really makeup. Okay? Sorry, but dear God. But notice, no bruise whatsoever. None. That is a fresh face. You cannot tell me that is makeup. I don't see no war paint on her face at all. And she's telling us that is makeup. That is fresh out of the shower. Probably got drunk the night before. Maybe didn't even drink and maybe didn't even take a shower with her funky ears. Rolled out of bed, got herself a cheesy gordito that she had from last night from Taco Bell. And then went off and kicked rocks with her friends, smiling and stuff. She didn't think that people weren't going to be out there taking photos of her face? No bruise on her face? Okay.
You can
Let's
see or
refresh your recollection about when this picture was taken. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1315, just for the witness? This is an article dated May 30th, 2016, right, Ms. Heard?
That's what it says, yes.
And this article contains the same photograph of you and Ms. Pennington we were just looking at, yes?
Yes, I see that.
And the article is entitled, Amber Heard Smiles as She Puts Arm Around Friend One Day After Getting Restraining Order Against Johnny Depp. Is that what the title says?
I know that's what the title says, yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish the article with everything but the headline and date and the photo redacted.
Objection, Your Honor. That's inconsistent from the way you've treated all of these.
I'll sustain the objection. All right, next question.
Let's take a look at picture Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317. This is also a picture of you and Ms. Pennington on May 28th, 2016, isn't it?
This is amazing.
I don't know when this photo was taken, but it looks like the same outing as the picture prior.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317.
Any objection?
No, Your
All
Honor.
right, 1317 in evidence, you can publish.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture either, right?
I disagree. If it is taken when you represent it was taken, then obviously there's a bruise on my face. It's covered by makeup as per usual.
Let's zoom out of that picture for a moment, please. Thanks.
This is crazy to me.
That's Josh Drew in this picture, right?
Yo, that's Josh Drew. Now, for me, I thought his testimony, the testimony that they had, which was filmed years before, I thought he was pretty solid. He was telling his side of what he saw, right? But I also do feel like he was a guy who was put in a situation where I think he was bamboozled. I think he was conned by these two women. I do think that. I think that he believed them because we instantly believe the person who's saying something like that. He is also a survivor of abuse from what he says in his testimony. And clearly what he saw, I'm sure, was some not so great fights between Depp and Heard. But again, he's taking his girlfriend at that time's word for it, and Amber Heard. Part of me still wonders, is he in on it? I would think so. Think about it. This is the very next day. She went up, filed, made a huge spectacle of it. Paparazzi's out there. Miss Heard. Right side of her face, bruised, showing that. She's all like, I'm like one of those infomercials with Sarah McLachlan playing in the background with the dog's sad puppy eye, big old puppy dog look on their face and stuff. That's literally what she looked like just a day before this, with a bruise on her face. In the arms of an angel. And she's all sad and stuff. It's like, oh, save me. I'm in a bad situation. The very next day, she out here. No bruise, fresh face, having a grand old time, clutching her Apple, laptop, happy as hell. And then Josh Drew's in the same shot. So then it makes me change my opinion here, because instantly I'm going, this dude might have been completely in on this whole con. My God. Because for a fact, the very next day, if you're the dude, if you're Josh Drew here, okay? You saw her with a bruise yesterday. Let's just be real. Let's act like he dumb. Like he dumb, okay? He dumb like a sack of rocks. Okay? He dumb. So he goes up there. He sees her with the bruise on her face. He's like, oh my God, we need to take this son of a bitch down. We need to take him down. How dare he do that to your beautiful face, Amber? Right? Then the very next day, like I said, he dumb. The very next day, she shows up fresh-faced and there's no bruise anymore. Wouldn't you, any person, wouldn't you go, wait a second, what happened to you look great. What happened to the bruise? Instantly, you're going to ask those questions. Instantly. But he out here. You see it right here. Having a grand old time with her. Smiling and everything. Okay. Sorry. Now I think his whole testimony is BS. Except for the threesome part that they cut out. But anyway, I digress.
Yes, that's correct.
And Ms. Pennington?
That is correct.
In there too?
That
Ms.
is
Pennington
correct.
submitted a sworn statement on your behalf in support of your domestic violence restraining order, didn't she?
I believe she did, yes.
Mr. Drew also submitted a statement in support of your domestic violence restraining order.
I believe they both did, yes.
Ms. Heard, I'd like to show you Defendant's Exhibit 512, which is already in evidence. You've seen this photograph before, right?
I have.
On the second day of your direct testimony, you testified that this was taken in the downstairs of the main apartment on December 15th, 2015.
Here
Do you
we
recall
go.
that testimony?
Yes, I believe so.
Here we go.
So it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to Penthouse 5 that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident. Yes?
I'm not quite sure from what incident this is when I see this photo in a vacuum without context.
Okay. You got to be kidding me. How does she not remember this evidence, which is also evidence that was submitted by her own team? No offense, but how do you do that? How's that even possible? You're telling me so the years and years that you've been prepping for this entire trial, and this one particular photo, you're going, in a vacuum, I don't understand who did this, that, and the third. What? This is submitted by your own people. It says underneath here, defendant, on the bottom of the photo, Defendant's Exhibit 512. Your own people submitted this. And you're telling me you don't know what this photo is? You went through it before. We saw it. We saw it during this whole trial. So now you're just trying to play hard. Now you're just trying to be difficult. Now you're just making things up. So now you don't remember the things that your own team submitted? You don't remember all these photos? You tell me all the photos that they showed a week before, you don't even remember that stuff? Come on. Seriously. If the jury is not seeing this, then I don't know what to tell them, because it's insane for them to sit there and want to lean or say, well, she might have a point. Maybe he did do all these things. No, he didn't. Spilled wine and a bottle on the ground, and she doesn't remember this. Okay. We're getting to the part where she should have gone in on her, but let's continue.
Let's give you that context. Can we please, thanks. If I could have day 16 trial testimony.
It's insane.
Your Honor, may we approach?
All right.
Skip through this a little bit.
Okay. Now I'd like you to turn to page 4603.
If you sleep on your side, I bet you.
Blah. Let's continue on. Now, in my personal opinion, that part right here, when she tried to sit there and say, oh, I don't remember anything. Oh, I don't know, in the vacuum, in the context, and this, that, and the third, carry to 1, divisible by 2. I feel like Camille could have gone in on her. Started riding in on her right here. The engine should have been revving up on the side of Camille. Don't get me wrong. Camille did amazing stuff. She kicked ass and took names. But she's not even remembering the evidence in which she submitted. These are photos from her. These are photos from her side. Defendant's exhibit. How can you not sit here and remember the things that you should remember like the back of your hand? You've been prepping for years for this whole trial. Now you're telling us within the vacuum of this, that, and the third? It's just ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Starting at line 12. 4603. Starting at line 12 and going on to page 4604, line 4.
Okay.
And do you see that you testified that defendant's exhibit 512, which is on the screen,
Yes,
is a picture of the downstairs of the main apartment?
that's correct.
And the main apartment is Penthouse 5 in the Eastern Columbia building, right?
No, depends on what, the main apartment's Penthouse 3 generally when we say main apartment.
Penthouse 5 was where you had your closet?
The downstairs was kind of like had some of my painting studio set up and a reception area. Upstairs was the closet.
Got it.
Mezzanine office was in between.
All right, so it's your testimony that defendant's exhibit 512 reflects damage to the Penthouse 5, that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident, right?
I'm just not sure from which incident this is a picture of, since I'm only looking at
Even
a
though your
partial
counsel
floor.
was asking you questions about December 15th, 2015, and then admitted this picture into evidence
Again,
in relation to that incident.
Sorry, go ahead.
In
What?
relation to that incident on December 15th, 2015. This exhibit, defendant's exhibit, you are the defendant, number 512, was admitted into evidence in this court. You testified that this was the result of damage that occurred on December 15th, 2015. Yes or no?
I just need to orient myself because I'm just looking at a picture of a partial
No,
picture of a
Ms. Heard.
Do you see what she's doing, though? Do you see what Amber's doing? She's trying to buy time. That's all she's doing. Maybe she's exhausted from lying so much, or she doesn't want to get caught up telling the truth on something. But as you can see, man, this part is hilarious too. We're going to get to it. But she's sitting there going, within the context of this, that, and the third, Camille could have gone so hard on this woman and it didn't happen. But you can tell Amber is just buying time. She's just riffing. She's letting it riff for a little bit. I'm gonna roll that back just a little bit, okay? But then she tries to explain to the jury. This is just insane. But let's take a look. One time, she tries to explain to the jury like that's her job. All right.
Office was in between.
All right, so it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to the penthouse 5, that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident, right?
I'm just not sure from which incident this is a picture of,
Buying
since
time.
I'm only looking at
Even
a
though your
partial
counsel
floor.
was asking you questions about December 15th, 2015, and then admitted this picture into evidence
Again,
in relation to that incident.
Sorry, go ahead.
In relation to that incident on
She's
December
lying.
15th, 2015.
It's amazing.
This exhibit, Defendant's Exhibit, you are the defendant, number 512, was admitted into evidence in this court. You testified that this was the result of damage that occurred on December 15th, 2015. Yes or no?
I just need to orient myself because I'm just looking at a picture of a partial
No,
picture of a
Ms. Heard,
floor.
you didn't just
So
look
I
at a
can't.
picture. You looked at your testimony.
You pointed me towards the page and then asked me a question. I haven't actually reviewed it. I don't know if this was submitted in relation to that incident.
Let's actually leave up Defendant's 512 and please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 725, which is already in evidence
Thank
in
you.
redacted form, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You can publish.
Just side by
Unbelievable.
side.
It's unfreaking
You've
believable.
seen this photograph as well, right?
I have.
On the third day of your direct testimony, you testified that this photograph reflected spilled wine in Penthouse 5 on May 21st, 2016, didn't you?
Again, I don't know because I'm looking at a partial picture of a floor. So unless you remove the metadata you've covered up, we could then tell. If you
I didn't cover it up, Your Honor.
Could we unredact
Your Honor.
them so we could get context?
That's how it's in evidence.
That's how
All
it's in
right.
evidence.
That's how it's in evidence. So nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. But my God.
Well, the metadata next to it is so that
Ms. Heard,
to avoid this.
Ms.
Now she's trying to explain it to the jury. Come on.
Heard, there is no question pending, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't be making argument to the jury.
Sorry.
She's Amber-splaining. She Amber-splaining to the damn jury. Like they don't already know this ish. Come
I thought
on.
you had asked me about it.
No, I didn't ask you about anything.
Facts.
Let's look at your direct testimony from the third day.
All this right here, all this mucky muck that she puts out, and she's, just spinning, and she's just trying to riff and all that stuff. This is the moment. This is where I felt that Camille could have just gone in so hard, destroying, annihilating Amber Heard. But then she just moves on to the next subject. And I'm like, man, you got all the time in the world, girl. Take your time. Sit back and take your damn time, girl. But that didn't happen. But you can clearly see, and hopefully the jury remembers this, that Amber was literally just trying to buy time. Real talk. She's trying to buy bloody time. Why? I don't know. Maybe it was her just trying to mess with Camille, trying to throw her off a little bit because she knew that Camille has nothing but facts and was going to hit her with hard questions. That could very well be it too. But this is the moment where I feel like she was starting to, her mask was starting to slip. There was a little bit of a chink in her armor, and Camille could have just attacked. Just in my personal opinion. Don't get me wrong. I still think Camille killed that Ish, but still, they clearly do not like each other because of their first rendezvous, right? On the stand. Camille could have gone in on her so much more. It's frustrating because she could have showed that ass immensely, expeditiously.
May I approach?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see that you're testifying that defendant's exhibit 725, which is reflected on the right side, reflects spilled wine on the floor in penthouse 5?
That's correct.
Okay. And defendant's exhibit 512 and 725 seem to be different versions of the same picture, don't they?
That's correct.
Okay. So which is it? Which one was taken on December 15th, 2015, or May 21st, 2016?
If you remove the redacted metadata.
Hi, Mark
Oh,
Barden,
crap,
Sandy Hook
guys.
Thomas here.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's right there.
Or if you're telling the truth, you would know.
Recognize a portion of of spilled wine on a floor, and I'm supposed to know off the top of my head when you've
No.
lived through 5 years of this stuff? I don't think so. That's not how that works.
Absolutely. 5 years of this stuff. Yes, you would remember this, but whatever.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Ms. Hurd, at the beginning of your cross-examination
Your
last
Honor, may
week,
we approach?
Yes.
All right, guys. I'm going to scroll up just a little bit more.
when you told this jury under oath that you had no idea that the paparazzi would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power? He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men.
Did you hear that, y'all? Did you hear that? I want to make sure you guys heard that, because this is the only reason why we're in trial to begin with. F all the salacious stuff, whether he smacked or hit her or did a thing with the bottle to her or any of that stuff. We're here for one reason and one reason only, and it has to do with this specific op-ed. Interesting that she just said that. Let me roll that back one more again, because I need you guys to hear it all the way in the nosebleed seats. All the way in the nosebleed seats. Let me roll that back so y'all, a little stick to you. You know, soak it all the way down to the marrow. You feel me?
When you told this jury under oath that you had no idea that the paparazzi would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power?
Remember, she said what? Remember what she said in the very beginning? She said this op-ed had nothing to do with Johnny Depp. This had to do with the relationships I had after Johnny Depp. And then she says what there? What'd she say? What'd she say one more time? Hold up. I got to do it one more time. I'm sorry. But she confesses. She admits this is the reason why she wrote this op-ed. It's because of him.
The stairs, and I thought he was going to kill my sister by pushing her down the stairs.
You told this jury under oath that Mr. Depp was
One
aggressive
last
and trashed a trailer in Hicksville. You didn't expect the manager of the Hicksville property, Morgan Knight, to come forward and testify that that was untrue, did you?
Incorrect. I've already been through trials with this man. I know how many people will come out in support of him.
When you told this jury under oath that you had no idea that the paparazzi would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power? He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men.
Currying
And I know
favor
that
and
firsthand. I've
risking
lived
jail
it.
time.
Okay. So here it is. Case closed. Done. It's a wrap, son. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. There is no need to sit there and deliberate and fight or anything of that sort. She said, I wrote it because of him. And he's a dangerous man, and he's Johnny Depp, and he has all this privilege and these connections and power and so on and so forth. That's the reason why I wrote this op-ed. That's not the first time she says it. She says it more often. She says it other times too. Like I said, if the jury is listening, if they're really, really listening, at some point, I'm sure some of the jurors clocked out, just, nodded off, and their brains went off into daydream land and all that. But outside of that, straight up, he's saying right here, she said it right here. She admits it. She admits what the op-ed was for and why she wrote the op-ed. It's done. It's a wrap.
For committing perjury.
Excuse me? I didn't hear your question.
You didn't
Excuse
hear my
me?
question?
Ms. Vasquez, if you do mind,
Curry.
please just repeat the question. I didn't hear you.
Curry favor and commit perjury in this courtroom
I have
for
seen
a
people
powerful
do this.
man?
I have seen people do this time and time again. That's why I wrote the op-ed.
You didn't expect Ben King, the House manager in Australia, to show up from England. He flew from England to testify that Mr. Depp's fingertip was found exactly where he said it would be. Did you?
I have never heard Johnny testify to knowing where his finger was, or really, frankly, making a claim that he knew where it was when it was found. I've never heard Johnny claim that.
You didn't expect
Johnny
Keenan Wyatt.
Johnny has never
Ms.
actually
Heard.
said that.
Ms. Heard.
And
I think the
Ben
jury
King,
can,
yes.
Ms. Heard, there's no question pending. You didn't expect Keenan Wyatt, Mr. Depp's longtime sound technician, to show up and testify that Mr. Depp is not being fed lines through his earpieces, but instead music, did you?
Not that it matters much, but of course I did. I know how his employees treat him.
So you
I know how
probably-
his team treats him. Of course I expected that.
Okay, so you probably expected Isaac Baruch to come and testify for Mr. Depp, right?
Oh, come on. I hate when they do that.
I'm not sure I thought about that.
Yeah, but you didn't expect Mr. Baruch to weep for Mr. Depp after what you've put him through and so many others with your lies.
I
did you?
relate to Isaac because he and I are
There's
the
no
only
further
ones who have
questions, Your
cried
Honor.
on this stand.
Nothing further.
All right.
She did not cry on this damn stand, but there it is, y'all. She sits there and she's like, I'm done. And then she walks away. Now there's so much more. I just feel like there's much more they could have done. But at the same time, hey, Camille and Team Depp. Let's not forget, it's not only just Camille. Ben Chu, and I don't know the other lawyers as well, but Ben Chu and obviously Camille Vasquez were spearheading the entire Team Depp, and they did the damn job. They did a great job, in my personal opinion. And yes, I saw on Twitch somebody say something, and appreciate all y'all who are watching on Twitch. Please hit that follow button as well. But they were saying, hey, Jammed Tomb, what's up? How you doing, sweetheart? Saying something along the lines of, hey, maybe she didn't want to bash her too bad because she didn't want for the jury to lose compassion for Team Depp. And if it was vicious, could be a different story, so on and so forth. So I do understand like the approach to all this as well. Now, there is something that sandwich. One more time. Exactly. You know what I mean? Why she write the op? Why she write the op, man? She says it loud and clear several times on the stand. That is the moment where I feel like she messed up really bad. And those are the moments where I feel like Camille could have just attacked. The first time they did a cross, I was basically calling Camille Vasquez like a boa constrictor. As soon as she got herself wrapped around Amber, she just kept doing this, just a little bit. You know what I mean? As soon as she starts to wiggle a little bit, you just get a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, and then you snuff them out. And this time, I just felt like there could have been a lot more that she could have done, just in my personal opinion. But I still think she did an excellent excellent job. Her closing statements we just saw were excellent. Ben Chu's closing statements as well were very solid. Rottenborn's argument was solid, though, too. I will say that, even though I don't like his ass at all. But he was resting solely on semantics, solely on words, which can be interpreted in so many different ways. I will say that as well. But one thing I want to point out is, I'm actually curious about what Whitney heard, or Whitney Henriquez, Amber's sister. I'm wondering what the rest of her life is going to be like, because she has clearly gone up on the stand and lied on behalf of her sister, and maybe for a little bit of that bag too. You got to remember, there's $100 million on the line for Amber Heard. If she wins 100 million bags, y'all. So of course she's going to bring everybody and the kitchen sink, at least as far as the expert witnesses that she brought in. She's going to bring in as many people as she can, because it's $100 bloody million. Now, here's something I wanted to show you guys really quick, because I did say it. I mentioned it, and then all of a sudden the chat kind of lit up. You guys are like, what are you talking about, this threesome? What threesome you talking about, man? Hey, Pascal, what's up? So let me tell you something. Let me show y'all something. Okay. Now, Josh Drew. Okay. Josh Drew is obviously a friend of Amber Heard. We saw the photo with them. It almost seemed like they were skipping down the road, all three of them. Raquel Pennington, Amber Heard, and Josh Drew. Okay. By the way, real quick, hit that like button down below. Get it past 1,000 likes. I'd love to see it hit 1K. All right, real quick. It doesn't cost a thing to hit that like button down below. So crush it. Make it scream out your name. I see a bunch of y'all on Facebook right now watching the show as well, and on Twitch. Hit that follow button on my Facebook page and on my Twitch. Hit that follow button. That would really, really mean a lot. And also, please follow me on Twitter. All right. The Pascal Show, one word. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay. So hit them likes, dag nabbit. That's right. Live and learn. Hit them likes, yo. Hit them likes. Okay. But let me say this really quick. Okay. Now, you guys are asking about the threesome. We're going to talk about that. Raquel, Amber, Josh Drew were in that photo that I was very surprised. That was a very interesting reveal. I didn't even realize that Josh Drew was in the same photo with all of them skipping down the damn sidewalk. Happy as hell. Okay. Happy as a billy goat, as my wife would say. Yeah. She's got a very weird sense of humor. Anyway, funny thing is this is the day after the bruise on the cheek. Okay. Bruise on the cheek. The very next day, fresh-faced, skipping down the road. As I said, happy as a billy goat with Josh Drew. Now, he had a deposition about November 19th of 2019, and they played it for Team Heard. And it was basically him just talking about the incident that happened in the penthouse where the cops showed up. The cops also, we saw the body cam footage. Cops showed up, said, we ain't seen nothing wrong with the place. We saw no signs of violence, no signs of DV, so we kicked rocks. We left. This is what the cops said. We saw the body cam footage. There's nothing to be seen there. No turned over fruit basket, no wine on the floor, no picture frames on the bed or on the floor. Nothing. They saw nothing, okay? So he was one of those people, part of that, saying, I saw this, this, and this. I did see this, that, and the third. I wasn't there for this part because Raquel asked me to go in, to go to the room or go back to our penthouse that they were basically freeloading. It was also Johnny Depp's penthouse that they were living in on the freeze nines and nines, okay? She goes, go over there. I'm going to go talk to her. He never saw her with a bruise unless it was after Raquel and Amber got together and they did the bruise thing, right? Okay, so we saw the photo of them skipping down the road. This same deposition, this same video, it's the same one. I don't know why they took this stuff out. But this is a full-on this is a full-on confirmation that not Johnny Depp, I'm sorry, Amber Heard got into a threesome with Elon Musk and Cara Delevingne, you know who it is, the actress woman. Okay, they got into a threesome. They cut this out during when they presented it to the court for Team Heard. They cut this whole thing out. I don't know why they cut this out, but I will play it again for all y'all who are watching right now, because I know a lot of y'all going, wait a second, what you talking about? A threesome? Yeah, there was a threesome. There was a rumor. There was a rumor floating around that Amber Heard, this other actress / model named Cara Delevingne, something like that, and Elon Musk, Mr. Tesla. Okay, I wonder if it's battery operated too. But anyway, I digress. They got into a little, wrestling match betwixt the sheets one night. They didn't show this. I don't know why they didn't, but this is Josh Drew confirming it all. So I want to play it for you guys. I played it last time, but I want to make sure you guys hear this all the way in the nosebleed seats. So let's go.
Did Rocky tell you that Amber Heard was having an affair with Cara Delevingne while she was still married to Johnny Depp?
Yes.
Did she ever tell you that the three of them, Elon Musk, Cara Delevingne, spent the night with Amber in November of 2016?
To the specific date, I can't say.
Did she ever tell you in words or substance, while Amber was still married to Johnny Depp, that the three of them, Amber Heard, Elon Musk, and Cara Delevingne, spent the night together?
Yes.
So they were having a three-way affair, correct?
My understanding, yes.
From his understanding, yes. So there you have it, y'all. You got a guy who is friends, good friends, close somewhat to not Johnny Depp, to Amber Heard. And of course, his girlfriend at that time, soon to be wife, then now ex-wife, as far as the taping of this deposition. They were divorced by that time, but they were together. Raquel, they were all in cahoots, it looks like, close enough for him to know whether or not Amber Heard and Elon Musk and another person, another woman, Cara Delevingne, were knocking the boots, just knocking the boots. That was also a rumor that was floating around, which, of course, Amber Heard was denying like a mug. And now you hear it from the horse's mouth himself, who also, in my personal opinion, now, once you see that photo of them skipping down the road like they, trying to do the white version of The Wiz, okay? They out here. So clearly, he would know certain things. He was in bed with Raquel. Good friends. Her lover. They shared a pillow together. You know what I'm saying? Of course she's going to say certain things to him, that maybe she wouldn't tell other people. That's one of Amber's very close friends, and this is the boyfriend at that time. Of course he heard things. Of course he heard stories. Okay? So there it is. Yeah. Yeah, Penelope. Oh, I just lost it. Penelope. Montreal. Yeah. What? A threesome? Oh, man. Didn't know this. Yep. But like I said, if you're going to sit here as proof and stories come out, you see all the security cam footage of James Franco getting onto the elevator to that penthouse. She had not been separated from Johnny Depp, was going off and doing her thing with James Franco. And in the video, he's resting his head on her shoulder and all that. And her excuse is, oh, it was because of he saw the bruises on my face and he felt so bad about it all. So on and so forth. You got to be kidding me, y'all. You got to be absolutely kidding me. This is somebody who is having extramarital affairs with other men and women while Johnny Depp and she were having issues. Having full-on issues, y'all. And instead of her wanting to, quote unquote, maybe work those things out, she didn't give a damn. She started going and having some fun. She started to experiment in all that. Or maybe she was just trying to find ways to lure Elon Musk because he was going to be the next. He was going to be her next target, her new prospect. It's messed up and it's sad, to say the least. And so for those of y'all who are still like filing in and all that and jumping in, just so you guys know, there has not been a verdict as of yet. Excuse me. We are still waiting on the verdict. We're still waiting to hear what the jury has to say. And here's the thing. There's a lot that the jury has to do. It ain't over yet. There's a lot for them to deliberate. There's a lot for them to figure out. Because a lot of I can see how this is tough. This is not an easy trial. It's not. Because there's still other questions that are lingering within this whole thing. Yes, you could look at the whole thing and go, wow, okay, Amber Heard is an absolute mess. We can all agree on that. Okay. We can all happily agree on that. All right. But there are still lingering questions out here that they still have to get answered before they actually say, oh, okay, it's time to get going and we can make our decision right off the bat. Off of performance alone, yes, they can sit there and argue till the cows come home on this. They can. I'm sorry, not performance, but as far as the questions that they have on this jury questionnaire that they have to basically check off. There's a lot to argue there, understandably. So I know it's not going to be hit or miss, but what I was trying to say is, if it is performance alone, this is an open and shut case. Open and shut. There is no need for them to wonder about any damn thing. There's a lot just on that alone that we've seen where it's been nothing but lies. Nothing but lies. But let's look at this here real quick. I got some comments. Hold on one second. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Some of y'all saying things about Elon Musk, which I totally understand. Just looking at some of your comments here, y'all. Yeah, I was just trying to have some fun. Just being a little ridiculous, but yes. Yeah, man. Yeah, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Nasty. Okay? Just I don't even want to think about that kind of stuff. But hey, when you're the richest man in the world, there's a lot of people that will do anything they can to get in them pants. Okay? Anything they can to get in their pants. So again, if you haven't done it yet, please hit that follow button on Facebook. Hit that follow button as well on Twitch. Hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel, which is where most of my stuff is. Okay. Seriously. Okay. Irish Marie. The Vaj is open 24/7. You got that monies. Yes. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. And I think that's how she got Johnny Depp too. She probably was like, hey, I like girls too. You know what I mean? Girls like girls where I'm from. I forgot the words to that song, but you know what I'm saying. All right. Drake said it best. Okay. So you never know. That might be her way of luring that man in, just saying, hey, here you go. But real quick. Real quick. Oh, by the way, which was hilarious to me, by the way, was out of town. Okay. Was on a lake. It was a really great time. Okay. Thank you, Jammed Tomb. Yeah, we'll be corresponding here very, very soon. Promise you on that. But there were so many. I was going to say this. I was out of town, went on a little bit of a trip, was enjoying the sun, was out on a yacht. Literally, I was on a yacht. It was an man, that thing was amazing. But anyway, the amount of Captain Jack Sparrows that I saw was absolutely amazing. There's a lot of people out here that are Team Depp. A lot of them, y'all. And it's incredible. But yes, there's a lot of things that I feel like she probably was doing the same thing that she did to Johnny, which was, hey, Elon, I'm in the girls too, and I have no problem sharing with you. And of course, there's a lot of guys out here that would be like, yes, she's the one. She's the one. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised if that's her MO. That's how she hook, line, and sinker, right? How she gets them. That's the bait. Whizzz. There you go. I like girls. I'll share them with you. We could do all kinds of drugs and do all this crazy stuff, and then we can have a little sideways samba, all three of us. Very possible. Very, 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 very possible. Hold on one second, because I want to show you guys a few more things. I mean, we are still waiting. The verdict is not here yet. We are still waiting on those things. But also, comment in the comments. What are your thoughts so far? I'm actually going to do a poll here really quick on my YouTube channel. That real quick. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Since we got we got like 2,500 people watching on all platforms, which is really amazing. But if you are on YouTube, please answer or please, check out the poll at the top of the chat. I just said, who will win, Depp or Heard? Go ahead and put it in there and all that. There are people out here that still believe, that do feel that Depp may lose in court. Like I said, I'll say it over and over again. Depp will lose. That's what people think. They think he will lose in court, but he won by the court of public opinion. And I think so too. I mean, I think he's still going to walk away with the W, with the win. Okay. I think he's going to win. I think there's just too many things that have gone on. You can't let this woman commit perjury nonstop like it's nothing. Okay. To me, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Okay. But yes, that I think that there's a lot, all right, that was displayed. And for them to just say, oh yeah, she's innocent, that basically means that she can get away with anything, with everything. And I could not, I can't just sit there and let that be. Real talk. End this really quick. Wow. Scary, scary stuff, y'all. And there's a lot of guys out here. I'm just seeing some posts here that you know, people are a lot of people are it's so sad. A lot of people's channels are getting in trouble for just talking about this, which is still really, really sad in my personal opinion. Because there's just people are just talking about the truth. People are just talking about the truth. Oh man, you know what? I want to show this to you guys too. I'm going to show this. This is another one where she is walking out of the courthouse. This is the walking out of the courthouse, and just see how she's moving her head around and all that. She's clearly trying to find. She's clearly trying to make sure that every single camera that sees her sees the bruise on her face. Check this out.
Did Johnny beat you up?
Stop.
Did Johnny brutal? Did Johnny beat you up?
Stop.
Did Johnny brutal? Did Johnny beat you up?
I mean, come on.
Stop.
Come on. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. I'm just not with it. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, let me make sure everybody sees every angle of my face. I'm just making sure. You get it? You get it? Good. Unbelievable, y'all. But yeah, I'm sorry. I was trying to find the okay, here's another one.
On your face?
Here's another one. This is just a bigger shot of her walking out of the courtroom or the courthouse.
Amber, did Johnny give you that bruise on your face? Did Johnny beat you up?
Stop.
Did Johnny brutalize you?
Stop.
Amber?
You guys, she showed a lot of
Are you okay, Amber? You look upset. How you doing?
You're going the wrong way.
Get her through.
Amber.
Amber, how you feeling?
Amber, are you going to go to the doctor? Are you okay? Are you going to go to the hospital, Amber?
Excuse me. Hey.
Are you worried that Johnny might do that again? Amber, what do you have to say to Johnny? Are you getting support from any of Johnny's family? Thank you. Best of luck, Amber. Good job.
You know, I'm going to play it again for you guys. I'm just going to kill the sound, but I mean, you know, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. There's another post here I'm going to show you guys on Twitter too that says something different as well. That's saying, oh, you know, everyone's saying they're only using 2 photos from that time that she was getting on down the road with her friends. They're only using ones that you could barely see if there's any bruise on her or not. But there still is. That's what somebody said in a post, and we need to take a look at those photos as well. But still, I mean, what is she looking around for? What is this? What is that? What's that? What's that? What is that? I'm just saying, what is that head movement for? Just what was she looking at? I'm just curious. What is she looking at? Okay. What is she looking at? Now, there's somebody out here that's saying, oh, you know, all of this. And what does it say here? This is somebody else said this. People claim the next day that this bruise was gone, but they only use one photo to say that. Why? Other photos clearly show the bruise was still there. Okay. So to me, I don't see a bruise in this photo. I don't see her bruise right there. Another one. Now, hold on. Okay, so we see there might be some discoloration here, But wasn't it down here? Wasn't the bruise right about down here? So if there's discoloration, that could just be also, actually, she does have like a little mole right there. There's a mole on her face. How do I even know this is? It's from watching her face for weeks now. But she has a little mole down here. So they're sitting there saying, oh, no, there's a bruise there. I don't know about that. Let's take another one. I really don't see it as that. I don't see that as a bruise. See what I'm saying? She's got a mole right here, but people are sitting here going, oh, no. There's a little bit of the bruising still on her face. But this was the very next day. So you're telling me that big patch that was on her face shrunk in size and is now in a different spot of her face? Like it's right there. The bruise is like right here. So where does that make sense? Let's go back to this video. Real quick. Let's go back to that video. And she also said that she was wearing makeup at that time. She also said she was wearing makeup at that time. So make that make sense, y'all. Hold on. Wrong one. There we go. Let's look at it one more time.
Amber, did
Let me get one. See what I'm saying? To me, it's just not working out for me. Okay? It's just not. All right? It's just not working for me. Like, there's a little bit of discoloration on the photos the very next day, but it's not like there would have been more work. Like, there would have been more. It still would have been fresh. It still would have been that color. This blotch on her face would still be there. It would still be there. Also, notice she's wearing makeup. I'm saying outside of the bruise. I'm saying she's wearing makeup. Let me show you that again. She's wearing makeup. She's even wearing makeup. So this is what she looks like with makeup on. Okay? Now this is what she looks like without makeup on. That is fresh-faced. And like I said, if there really was a bruise, there'd still be a serious. There'd still be a little bit of black, if that makes any sense. The bruise was black when she was at the courthouse. The very next day, it just suddenly disappears. She has a healing factor. Like she's freaking Wolverine up in this biznai. It just doesn't work for me. This is what they're saying is still there. She says she's wearing makeup during this time. See, and this is a mole that she has on her face. We've seen it countless times in so many different photos and in her interviews and all that. Clearly, hold up. Do I have any photos of her face like that? Let's see. I think it's covered in makeup, though. Covered in damn makeup. But yeah, I don't know. Something ain't right. Something ain't right with me on this. I don't know. The Thrifting Channel. Lawyers are at the courthouse. From my understanding, they are waiting on standby. I don't think that they're actually at the courthouse. I think they're sitting, waiting. Apparently, what happens is as soon as they say jury has come to a decision and we're ready to announce, they will give the jury, at least this is what the judge said the other day. She gives the jury, gives the lawyers at least a half hour to get where they need to get to the courthouse so they can do their thing. So they'll be sitting waiting on standby until, they'll be doing this until, I'm sure they're sitting drinking coffee and waiting for the verdict to come out. Because like I said, we still haven't heard anything. We don't know anything yet. But Calvin, absolutely. She a damn mutant. You know what I mean? She got healing factors, y'all. She a damn mutant, man. So I'm thinking, thank you, Tyler. I do appreciate that, my brother. Thank you so much. But yeah. Oh, Bronze Barbie said DUI guy confirmed by someone who's there. They just got there. So maybe there is some type of verdict coming out, or maybe they're just sitting there on standby. They're waiting to get a verdict to come out, Somebody says emboss. I think you said to look up something embossed. I wanted to see what you wanted me to check out. So please comment again, because it got lost. It got lost in the comments. All y'all are really amazing coming in here, doing your thing. Hit that like button down below. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit it. Subscribe. Because for a fact, as soon as they have a verdict, as soon as they come out with a verdict, we will be here live. Whether we cut off in a little bit or it happens right now. You will be hearing it live from this channel. So please, if you want my very unique and color commentary on everything that's going down, please let me know, because I would love to have you guys here to be a part of this big moment in history. This will be a historical moment. I've had my brother Eddie Herman on. He's a lawyer from Brown and Crouppen. Shout out to Brown and Crouppen. He has a really great YouTube show called Eddie Versus. And he also has 3 lawyers eating sandwiches. So please go check that out. But he came onto the show and he said, defamation lawsuits are very hard to prove. They're very hard to prove. But this particular case is extremely unique because of everything that's been laid out in front of us. With all the salacious stuff in front of us and all the factual stuff that's in front of us as well. Johnny Depp has a very good argument here. Real talk. Full on good argument here. But then you can see on the other side of things too. Take out all the salacious stuff, the drugs, the partying, the finger being lobbed off. Whether he did it or she did it, doesn't matter. Cut out all that BS. And you look at it. My personal opinion, I don't think she has a strong argument on her side. Because she's claiming, because of X, Y, and Z, because of Adam Waldman and Johnny Depp speaking to a news article, this is the reason why I'm suing him for $100 million. Well, one thing is for sure. She did not lose Aquaman because of Johnny Depp. She lost it because she sucks. She lost it because she has no chemistry with Jason Momoa. Now, maybe in stories out here, Jason Momoa wanted her to stay in the movie because he liked her as a human being. But then as the truth comes out, as you start to see more of this trial, he doesn't want anything to do with her. Now he doesn't want anything to do with her at all. That's big. That's a big moment. That's a big thing to sit there and say. He was fighting for her to stay in Aquaman 2. She's still in Aquaman 2. She still got paid. She still did her acting thing. She's just in it for 10 minutes, though. Now she's just in 10 minutes. In it for 10 minutes. Hey, sorry if you suck. If you're not a good actress, you're not a good actress. And that's all that is. That there is. But real quick. Somebody said Somebody said to look up some. Embossed said to look up something, but I'm trying to find out what it was exactly, because I'm sure we can watch a few things to enjoy some moments of the trial. Aside from oh, that's what. Okay. Embossed. I was asking you to look up her pitiful fake cry moments, and when her acting coach says she cannot cry act. Yeah, it really shows on stand. You know what? You're right. I do have that here. Let me get that. Hold on. Man, oh man. Let's see where we at. 97% of y'all think Depp will win. That's what's up. Depp will take home the W so far. Because I see, let's see, how many votes so far? 800 votes. Yeah, keep voting, y'all. Keep on voting. All right. But 97% of y'all think that Johnny Depp will win. I think when it comes down to semantics, when it comes down to words, I think there are some possibilities that Johnny Depp could lose. And if he loses, I'm sure he'll file an appeal and all that as well. And it'll just depend on if they want to let that be what it is. And if they want to bring that back in. But we will see here very shortly what's going down. But sorry, guys, I'm trying to find this clip with the actress. And I want to show you guys the head of WB or head of DC Films. It's a quick thing, but it shows like, hey, they did not bring her back or they gave her less time on screen because it wasn't good. You know what I mean? Wow. Hold on one second, guys. I'm still trying to find it. It's in here somewhere. I swear to God. There it is. There we go. Well, I found a clip, but it's from Popcorn Planet, but hopefully he'll be okay with that. So shout out to Andy Signor and all the crazy, amazing work he's been doing. And also Tug, too, that umbrella guy. But this is a clip I wanted to show you guys really quick.
We could actually get something accomplished because she was often very upset.
Did you have occasion to observe Ms. Heard crying naturally, not acting, when you had coaching sessions with her during the time that she was together romantically with Mr. Depp?
I would say the last year they were together, probably 80-90% of our sessions began with her crying. And that would be increasing as it went on. Ironically, she has a little difficulty crying acting wise, so which a lot of us do. And so, yeah, we would have to work when we were doing it acting wise, but it was a lot.
Interesting. So she can't cry on cue. Allegedly, she can't cry on cue. When it comes to acting, she has a hard time getting to the place where she needs to cry. Now, as an actor, you get paid very big bucks to be emotionally available, to be emotionally connected to not only your scene partner, but the script that you're doing, and most importantly, connected to your emotions, especially when you're supposed to be showing, I don't know, crying, fits of anger, so on and so forth, whatever it may be, right? You need to know where that pocket is and ride that pocket. Some people can really, I got some friends of mine that are some really freaking talented actors, and really they can cry like on cue. Boom. They just find it. They find that emotional space, that place that they have for that emotional thing that triggers them, and boom, they're there. There's a lot of people that can do that. Apparently, Amber Heard can't do that. She can't. Notice when she was on stand, which we're going to look here in a quick second. Rohit, thank you so much for the $2. I don't know yet. We don't know anything yet. I'm hoping we're going to hear about a verdict very, very soon. But from what I'm gathering, we haven't heard anything yet. Nothing's set in stone as of yet. But when it does go down, I will be letting you guys know. I guarantee you. And if it means that this feed is over, but then 15 seconds later they go, we got a verdict, for a fact, I'm going to hop back on and make sure that we watch this together as a family. I do want to show you guys a little compilation video, which we are going to be working on or showing you guys here very, very shortly. But hold on, let me make sure that this is gone because we ain't got time for that ish. All right. We ain't got no time for that BS. None of these damn bots coming in. But anyway, but I do have some super chats I want to get into. Nichols Blooms, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. What she has done for actual victims of DV, and SA is so upsetting. We now have actual abusers saying they are innocent. She silenced me too. Yeah, that's what sucks. That's what sucks. Because now she's put a stain on it. She's put a stain on it. And trust me, I would love to instantly believe. I'm someone who instantly believes as soon as somebody says that, because that's just in my nature, right? That's in all of our nature, right? We naturally lean towards that because we could never imagine somebody lying about it. You see what I'm saying? We can never imagine, first off, it happening to someone that you care for. All right. But then on top of that, we could never believe that could ever happen to lie about it. It's one of the worst things you can do. The whole crying wolf type situation. Candace Coleman, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. What happened if it 0 and neither wins? Oh, what happens if it's 0 and neither of them win? That'll be very interesting. I don't know what would happen after that. Real talk. I don't know what would happen right after that. That could be so many different things, so many different factors we could put into this. Maybe they would try to have another trial again. God knows. But if it ends up becoming, I don't think it's going to be that. I think they're literally going to go, yes, no, period. I just don't see it being anything more than what I do believe is going to happen. I think they're going to say Johnny's done, or Johnny won, or Amber won. That's it. It's going to be a wrap after that, son. It's going to be a wrap after that for sure. Let me try to pull up this thing. Berenice, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really do appreciate it. Okay, really, really do. Thank you so very, very much. Okay, but let me see here. Let me see if I can pull up a compilation. See if there's anything good here. Yeah. Let me see here. Thank you, Mr. Mustachio. What's up, man? Thank you so much for the 20. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 20. If you've been the victim, you absolutely can believe someone lying. Folks call you nasty names when you stop believing someone on their word alone. That's absolutely true. Too many prey on our empathy. That's absolutely 110% true. That's why this is exactly what she did. She came out with it happened to me too. Everyone went, oh, how dare Johnny Depp? Damn you, son, damn you. And then next thing you know, he was buried. No one watched, nobody wanted to work with him. Sure, everybody was still watching his movies that he had done, but nobody was really watching him. He wasn't out there doing movies and working. Everybody thought he was a straight up monster. Straight up monster. Because people like Amber, because there are evil people out here in the world. There are liars out here in the world that will do everything they can for their own fame, fortune, whatever it may be, clout, whatever it may be. Some people do that stuff, this kind of crazy stuff, just for attention, y'all. And that's exactly what she did here. Okay? And I'm not going to sit here and say that Johnny Depp is an angel, because he's clearly not. But one thing I will give him total credit for is that he has taken responsibility and he has taken accountability for the things that he has done. He has taken full-on accountability. He's not up there lying and sitting there going, "Oh no, I didn't write that. I don't know where that came from." Within the vacuum, within this situation, I don't know where this came from. Type stuff. Pledge, donate. You see what I'm saying? My dog stepped on a bee. You see what I'm saying? Clearly, he took accountability for his wrongs, and he's not perfect. He did some very, very bad things too. He wrote some very, very bad things so far. Okay? He wrote some very bad things. But does that mean he put his hands on her? Now, that's the other thing too. Real quick, before I go to this other super chat. What's up, Dr. Ed? But let me say this, though. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people, or a lot of these jurors, are probably bouncing back and forth, because of the thing that Rottenborn said. He said abuse is more than just physical. And he's like, well, Camille Vasquez retracted and changed her argument, saying that this is, that abuse is only physical. And he said, no, abuse is more than just physical. He said emotional, verbal, and physical. There are many things under the sun. That's why I said his argument was pretty solid. Because just because he's on his text messages calling her the C word and calling her the B word and saying all these terrible things, the jury can look at that and go, well, he really is saying, he did call her those things. Yeah. I mean, abuse is abuse. It's not just physical. He does have a point. And that could literally be throwing a wrench in this whole machine. That could be the reason why that there's hesitation, or maybe that there's so much deliberation right now. Mind you, it's only day one, really. It's only day one. If this was day 5, then I could sit here and go, oh, man, how Rottenborn closed it out really mucked things up. But for what I know right now, he just threw in a good argument. That's it. And I'm not sitting here saying that Johnny Depp was not at all, in no way, shape, or form, showing some hints or some elements of abuse at all. There is some verbal, for sure. But he still did not put his hands on her. I think that they're both volatile, toxic people that were in the same room at the same time for a little bit too long. And I think they both hurt each other tremendously. I think they have their different ways. One puts their hands on the other, and the other uses words. And I think that's what they showed in this particular trial. Johnny Depp did not hit her. That's what I believe. Okay? But he has words, and he used them. Dr. Ed, what's up? But at the same time, that still does not mean anything. That defamation, or this trial is over her defaming him on paper. And that's exactly what she did. F him losing a finger. Forget her having threesomes with Elon Musk and having extramarital affairs with Elon Musk and James Franco. F all this. It all goes down to this op-ed. And what she said in that op-ed destroyed, without a shadow of a doubt, destroyed Johnny Depp's career. Destroyed it. Dr. Ed, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. I hope he wins. Win or lose, he has his children back. Nichols, we got your back. I'm sorry for your DA. Yes, and I'll say I will echo that same thing. Dr. Ed. Thank you so much for the 20. I really do appreciate that. And yes, I think what happens is he said, I want my life back. I wanted my children's respect back. There's a lot of things that I think that he has, that he gained back. Whether he loses or wins, he still won the court of public opinion. And I think that's the one that he cares about most. I really do. Kathy Bennett, thank you so much for the $20 super chat or super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much, sweetheart. I really appreciate that. Then, you got to also put into this thing too. You also got to put into consideration the whole ACLU situation, that whole ACLU debacle. Okay. It's insane how much she has, basically put out there, saying that she's like, oh, I pledged, but then she never gave the money. It was either from Elon or from Johnny. She never paid anything up. So that's the other problem here as well. But let's take a look at this. We got a little compilation. I think this is a good one. I don't know. But we're gonna check this one out, because why not? Let's check out this little. This is a compilation of, I don't know. This one was made. When was this made? This was made a couple weeks ago. So this is probably just off of her first day on the stand. But let's take a look.
I didn't want this to be the reality. I didn't want to have the man I was in love with wrong. And I knew that I had to leave him. And that's what broke my heart. Because I didn't want to leave him. I was just looking at frankly, because I didn't know what else to do. And heartbroken. Well, he did that. He twisted his fingers around. I felt like he recognized me and I recognized him, and there was just something. Boy. He was, but he was also this other thing. And that other thing was awful thing that would come out, and couldn't see the Johnny I loved underneath it. It was this other thing. I mean, this man lost control of his bowels, and I cleaned up after him. His security cleaned up after him, changed his pants in front of me. He would pass out in his own sick. This thing that made me feel so loved, that made me feel like I didn't want to leave him. Broke my heart. I wanted to marry him so bad. This is the man I loved, I know it may be hard to understand. It's horrible when he done it. So then I was just looking at pictures of us on the red carpet. Embarrassing. It's hard to. I was naked, and I'm slipping around on this tile.
I mean, is she really? You see what I'm saying? All the stuff that she's breaking down, it just doesn't seem to add up. That's what's so unfortunate about this situation. Just a lot of it doesn't seem to add up. Nichols Blooms, thank you so much. Neighbor, thank you for the 5. But Neighbor put a statement out saying bruises were from Botox. See, and I could see that being a possibility too. That, a little bruising, on the face, especially if you're trying to keep yourself nice and slick, like, trying to look flawless. I can see that being it too. But it's funny how people out here, this woman out here, man, trying to say all this stuff. It's just, it's weird. And Joyce Smith, yeah, I mean, hold up. Yeah. I don't know how I don't know how any jury needs all this time too, but unfortunately this is how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, those closing arguments were pretty solid. Rottenborn did put out a very good question. And their jury questionnaire, or whatever the jury requirements, they got to go through each and every single one of those and talk about it. And you know for a fact there's somebody in there that, just like there are people in this chat, just like there's people out here on the twits as well, and on social media, that still do truly believe that Amber Heard is in the right, that she was, or that she is a survivor or a victim of DV, SA, and SV. There are people that really do believe this, even with performances like this.
And I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life. It was black. I couldn't see him. And I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him at all. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I couldn't, and I don't know how that ended. I don't know what happened next. I don't understand.
Oh boy. Where are the tears? That's what I want to know. No offense. Like I said, I was in the very beginning, on God, I was on Amber's side when she came out with that op-ed and said all these things at the very, very, very beginning of all this. But then you see performances like this, you see her testimony. It should just be a testimony, not a performance. But I have to call it what it is. All right. You look at this and you tell me you don't look like, you can't look at this and say, oh, well, maybe she's telling the truth. I'm sorry. This is boo, tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes to me. Okay? Boo, tomatoes, tomatoes. This is not working for me. Oh, boo. Boo. What happened to Boo? R.I.P. But anyway, like I said, wow.
God, the next thing I remember, I always been over backwards, and I thought he was. I'm sorry.
Toenail. I'm sorry. This stuff just irks my soul. This is a full-on mockery. I'm sorry. This pisses me off. This burns my cookies. Okay? I do not like this. This is sad. It's disgusting that she is. You could tell she's trying. We just saw the video of her acting coach saying she can't cry on cue. She just can't. She has a hard time doing that. Where are the tears in this? Just asking for a friend. Where are the tears in this? I look at I have so many people that I know, that I have been blessed to know through this show and outside of this show, friends of mine, etc., that have been survivors, or that are people that are still living through it as we speak. And this woman right here is making an absolute mockery of it. And it frustrates the hell out of me. You cannot look at this and believe anything that she says anymore. This is not real. This is not a testimony. This is an audition tape.
I felt this pressure. On my pubic bone. He said he was punching me. I just saw his arm. I could feel his arm. It didn't feel pain. It was just a pressure on my pubic bone, and I don't know. I hope it's not broken. I don't know how that ended.
Okay. Now, remember, this is what she said. Remember, this is what she said, man. She said, I don't know if it broke inside of me. I hate to use that graphic because that's pretty damn, or use that quote because it's pretty graphic. But she even says with her own mouth, he was doing this thing down in that area with this bottle. Just that piece alone. You look at all the information, everything is horrifying. What she's saying there is absolutely bloody, horrifying, and no person should go through that. No person should be a victim of that kind of treatment if it is true. But we have to play in the facts. We got to look into the hard facts and the details of all this. And I ask you again, I beg you again to look at this situation. And you tell me when she says, I don't know if it broke because he was viciously attacking me with this bottle. You look at that. Then you see the very next day, she's in California, Los Angeles, California, on the set of The Late Late Show with James Corden. Her legs crossed, having a grand old time, chopping it up like nothing ever happened. You're telling me this person viciously attacked your body with a bottle filled with liquor, just so you know? And you're able to just be a regular functioning member of society the very next day, let alone 3 or 4 hours later when Dr. Kipper and that nurse show up and you're clumping around in boots or whatever the hell you're clumping around in, crying, apologizing to Johnny Depp because of what happened to his finger, because you feel so bad, saying that you were on all kinds of stuff, shrooms and MDMA, and and y'all got into a fight. You're still able to walk around and talk. You're able to move after he did something so unthinkable to your body, especially down there. Again, you hear those stories, then you see the facts. You hear the truth. And you know for a fact that no matter what, even if it was just a little bit of something like that with that bottle, you'd still have your ass in the hospital, period. There's no way you can do that and still be a functioning member of society hours later. You'd be holed up, curled in a ball, somewhere on a bed, not moving, somewhere in a corner, not even moving. She said there was blood. She said all these other things. And if there really was that kind of trauma, why didn't Dr. Kipper come to you and tend to you immediately when he walked into that home, into that war zone? You're telling me that you've been violated in such a vicious way? You're bleeding, and he wouldn't have gone to you just to make sure you're okay? The nurse wouldn't have gone over and checked you, checked down there, do whatever she needs to do to make sure that you are okay? This is the reason why it's hard for someone like myself to believe any of this stuff anymore. At all. You hear the testimony. You hear what she says. Then you look at the facts. You look at the evidence that's actually out there. And you realize that the math is not working out. It's not, the sum of it all is not coming together. And I know, like I said, still there's people out here that are going, I don't care, I still believe her, so on and so forth. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, you can do that. Believe what you want to believe, and I'll believe what I want to believe. But I look at the evidence, then I hear this story that's coming out of her mouth. What's the truth? And what is the lie? I got a comment on Facebook. Karen Ware, thank you so much for the comment on Facebook. And for all y'all that are watching on Facebook, I really do appreciate all y'all that are watching. Please hit that follow hit that follow button on my Facebook page. That would really, really mean a lot to me. And for those of y'all who are on Twitter, please follow me on Twitter, The Pascal Show, one word. That would really mean a lot. And then, of course, hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel. That would really, 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 really mean a lot. Okay. If she was so scared, why didn't she just leave? Because she wanted the 15 minutes of fame to be a huge celebrity. She would have known if it broke. She would have had blood everywhere. That's true. The liquid in the bottle would have stung the open area. She never got treatment or looked by a doctor or nurse. Lies is all she is. And here it is. That's exactly what I'm saying right here. All of it right here in one paragraph, one beautifully written paragraph. Thank you, Karen. That's exactly what it is. She was plotting for a while. Maybe she didn't know how it was going to turn out. Maybe she didn't know what the narrative she was going to do and create. Maybe she didn't know. But she was already starting to plot when she started noticing he had some vices that he holds on to hard. He is viciously addicted to liquor, viciously addicted to pills. So she started taking photos and she started to create a narrative. And then she was going to create whatever was going to be. Whatever that narrative was going to be, she didn't know yet. It was almost like somebody like an artist. You know, I got some friends of mine, like my boy Gabe, okay, who paints, and he's an amazing painter, amazing artist. These are two of his works. Actually, there's Otis Redding right behind me as well. Okay. Very talented artist. Okay. And if you're interested in buying that art, let me know, because I could hook you up. But here it is, though. When he starts a painting, he doesn't really know what the outcome is going to be. All he knows is that he's creating a piece of art. I know that sounds crazy, but just ride with me for a second, y'all. So you look at somebody who may be a master manipulator. This is their art. It's like writing a book. You don't know how it's going to end, really. You start writing the book, and then you go on the journey. So she saw this narrative. She saw something that she could create so that maybe she can make that $7 million or more by getting with this man. But what she was going to do is, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Ooh, I see he likes to do drugs. Do you like drugs? You know what I mean? Yeah, he does. So she starts seeing these patterns. And he's a man. He's a red-blooded American man, okay? So she lures him in with sex and drugs. Oh, wow, she's incredible, and we kick it and all that, and she loves what I do, and we're talking about music and poetry and all that and whatever. Wow, she's something else. Oh, and she likes to share. Maybe that's what happens. But she starts to get to know him. Clearly, they're spending a lot of time together. He likes to get effed up, blindly drunk, passing out with his head in nightstands and stuff. Literally passing out, like just knocked out on couches, just gone, just doing a quick nod, as she says. So she knows his pattern. So she takes photos. Maybe at first she's taking the photos to show him the next day, like, babe, you really need to start working on your sobriety because this is getting bad. I can't watch you do this every day. But she holds on to these photos. Why? Ammunition, weapons, embarrassing footage that she can use to bribe him later on. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this woman is plotting. And for her, this is art. She doesn't know where the piece is going to go, but she's going somewhere. And she's shaping the narrative as much as she can. Then all of a sudden, it goes from the 7 million to now, because you got to remember, people were sitting there out there calling her a gold digger. saying, oh, you just wanted to marry him for the money. So she goes, I want nothing. I'm going to give all that money away to the ACLU and Children's Hospital, the children. And what'd she do? Not one penny goes over there. A couple pennies, but not all 7 million. Where the rest of the 7 million at? So she ends up writing an op-ed because she's trying to not only damage this man's career, but also get her career moving in an upward trajectory. And of course, everyone loves either a redemption story or a story of survival. So she creates that narrative. Next thing you know, America, the world, jumps behind her because we quickly are naturally known as human beings, because we care for people, because I believe people are innately good, will instantly turn and side with someone like Amber. Because God forbid we don't agree or we don't believe Johnny Depp. So she gets a little bit of love, but then he goes, no, I can't do this anymore. Johnny can't. He's like, I can't do this. This is ruining my life. And all of it is a lie. And then other channels, bloggers, channels, YouTube channels, and all that start pulling out the audio somehow. But all this audio starts coming out, showing otherwise. Showing that she's the aggressor. Showing that he's a victim of Me Too. Or he's a Me Too victim. It all starts with her saying, hi, my name is. And then she started to create this random, insane narrative. And then it just turned into this $100 million lawsuit. But like I said, she is an artist in her own narrative. She is the writer of her own story, which she obviously likes to fabricate a lot of lies. She didn't know where the end result was going to be. I'm sure she didn't realize it was going to be a $100 million lawsuit down the line. But that's where it went. And lucky for her, she kept all those photos to make him look like an ass. But again, multiple photos of him passed out, but no photos of actual abuse. None. Very interesting. Hammocks, 123. Thank you so much for the 20. She mocked, physically and emotionally abused GAD. Absolutely. I am a full believer in all that. I'm a full believer now. And I said, I'm going to wait until she takes the stand. I want to hear what she has to say. Let me hear her side. In her own mouth and in her own words. As soon as she started talking, I was like, oh my God, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I felt like a fool. I'll be honest. I felt like an absolute fool because I believed that. Okay. Kathy, holler back. Holler back, youngin'. Thank you so much, Kathy, for the comment on Facebook. Evidence and witnesses' testimony prove that Heard personally never donated any money to the charities. Yep, she personally did not. She didn't donate any of the monies to the charities that she lied about donating to. Elon Musk donated in her honor, proven, and Johnny himself donated the first payment in her honor. Heard has not donated any of the money she claimed to donate to these charities. She is a pathological liar and a manipulative abuser. If she's a malignant narcissist she is a malignant narcissist who preyed on Depp for his money, power, fame, and for her own sick needs. Absolutely. Like I said, she started creating a narrative. And I don't think she really did fully love Johnny Depp. I don't think that either. I mean, that might sound a little dramatic, but hey, those are my theories, baby. Those are most definitely my theories. Let me take a look here and see what's going on here. So far, nothing as of yet. Nothing as of yet. But, you know, we are still waiting for a verdict. We have all day to find out what the story is, or, you know, we have the rest of the day to find out what the heck is going on. I'm going to fix something really quick. Real quick. Okay. But yes, as far as we know, they're still in the court deliberating, still trying to figure out what's going on. And of course, you know, once we know a little bit more of what's popping off, we'll be here talking about it. We'll watch it together, you know. It's yeah, I heard something about her stealing the baby in the microwave thing, which was insane. Agatha Christie defamation case in UK. Look it up. Yeah, I mean it's crazy what she was saying, but I think she stole a lot of things from different people on even the stories of her abuse. Some of those were stolen from other people. It's very sad. It's very sad indeed, y'all. But anyway, guys, I am going to wrap the show up for now. Okay. But I will be on a little bit later on today. Trust and believe I will be. Okay. Real quick. Let me kill this. Thank you so much for the 55 hammocks. 1, 2, 3. Have you heard? Oops. Have you heard that it's been reported that she might face possible jail time for perjury, both in US and UK? Yes, I've heard about UK. I have not really heard anything about US. I'm going to look that up because I know in the UK, there were some things that, yes, she was lying about on the stand. Allegedly, she's looking at that situation. Also, she's looking at perjury and possible jail time as well in Australia over her dogs. Real talk. So we still have that we're still waiting about. I don't know about the US yet, but UK, yes, because apparently she committed perjury on the stand during the defamation lawsuit that Johnny Depp had against the Sun, which he, of course, lost that trial. So we'll see what happens here for sure. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna jump off for a little bit, take a little bit of a break and all that. If we find out any information, trust and believe I will be on to talk about all of this, and we will see what the verdict is. I'm really hoping it happens today. So trust me, I'll be keeping a close watch on what happens. Once we find out something, I will be back on. Regardless, you'll see me back on a little bit later today. I'm gonna go and get some lunch, stretch my legs a little bit, and all that. But I will be back on in a few hours, or as soon as they say they have a verdict, you'll see me live right here. So do me a favor. First off, hit that like button down below. Don't forget to do that real quick. That would really, really mean a lot to me. Okay. Also, pinned to the top of the chat, please go check out my merch store. We got a lot of really cool limited edition designs specifically revolving around this trial. So please go check that out. Trust me, you'll really, really, really enjoy it, or really enjoy them. So go and check that out. That is pinned at the top of this conversation of the chat on YouTube. So go check it out. Okay. That would really, really mean a lot. And of course, guys, if you haven't done it yet, please, before you head off, hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel, or hit that follow button on my Facebook page. Please. I see a bunch of y'all who've been tuning in, watching on Facebook. I appreciate all y'all. Hit that over there and hit that notification over there. I think there's a way that you can make a decision so that you know whenever I go live over on Facebook as well. And on Twitch, I see a couple of you guys over there too. Hit that follow button on Twitch. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay. So anyway, guys, it is time to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being on. You guys have been really amazing. I'll see you guys in a little bit. As soon as we find out any updates about this verdict, you will see me live. So if it happens in 5 minutes, I'll be back on. So hit that notification bell so you know when I go live. All right, guys? Anyway, it's time to get going. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Really, it's been amazing. Also, the poll, real quick. We have 3% of you guys think Heard could still win. And that's off of over 1,500 votes, guys. Over 1,500 votes. Okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of people that still think that Johnny Depp could still go home with the W. But no matter what, Johnny Depp is still won. He has still won the court of public opinion. We know that for sure. He out in London, playing guitar and singing and all that for a whole bunch of people in London. So he fine. He gonna be fine. Whether he wins or loses, he's still gonna be fine. But this is the thing, though, real quick before I go. If Amber Heard wins, then that basically says that you can commit perjury, you can lie through your teeth all the live long day and still go home with a bag. I just hope that good prevails over evil this time around. So we'll see what happens here. Keep your eyes open. I might be back on sooner than you know. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I appreciate all y'all. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in a little bit. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.